Sweet baby Jesus, we've made it once again to a fireside chat. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. I'm assuming the camera's right on me, as it should be. Prime right and center, fireside chat is back. It has gotten mighty cold out here, and I've got a guest with me tonight by the name of Normal Mountain Biker, who I'm gonna call him Seabass, although his actual name is Sebastian.
Yes, it is.
So
I guess.
The interesting part about this is you've actually got like meta levels of names. It's like a normal mountain biker, Seabass, but then it's all the way down to Sebastian.
yeah. Like nobody really knows me by my real name. So, hi, my name is Sebastian. That's my real name. Hi.
Hello, nice to meet you. You're another content creator that's kind of evolved over the course of your years. I think everybody that's in this chat knows who you are, so I don't know why I bother doing like elaborate introductions for people. But it's interesting because like you've started doing short form content and long form content, and it's just bridging the gaps all across. You're very handsome, but you got a beard, not a mustache, so you know we've got opposing clans right here.
A little bit more manliness with the full beard, you know.
Exactly. Exactly. It's looking good. Look, I did notice there was something I had to point out immediately. I thought it was a little odd, but I thought, hey, like maybe this is something you do. But I noticed there's somebody back in the orange tree over here that's recording us. Is that
dude
normal?
That's my brother Durs. He does all the videos. He's behind the camera for a lot of the videos. Hey, dude. That's enough. We got the shot. Yeah, we got the shot.
Good work. Good work, Durs.
Dude, come on, seriously. You gotta, dude, come on, get your crap together. This is.
You're crushing it.
Dude, and you were loud too with the bushes and everything.
Yeah.
People are gonna hear you.
Thanks.
God, he's messing up the freaking podcast.
Thanks, Durs.
What are you doing, dude? Seriously.
Hopefully you got the good footage, Durs. Thanks.
Man.
But
you're pissing me off, right? We haven't even started yet. I'm already in a bad mood.
Don't worry, we'll solve that problem. We've got whiskey, we've got beer.
Oh, that's right.
And we've got a fire. The funny thing is, like, okay, so I was telling you the story the first time we ever did Fireside Chat was with my buddy Unprofessional Kyle. And we came out and we're like, this is brilliant. What I want to do is I want to do a live stream in front of the fire and just talk. And it turned out to be that day was like 90-something degrees, like just immediately a sweat fest.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So yeah, it was really interesting, and it's nice because now it's cold out. You know, we're wearing our jackets. The
fire different, yeah.
The fire actually felt good. Like I was thinking, like we actually need to get in front of the fire ASAP.
Yeah, it is a godsend right now for sure. It's very cold.
Now you've reaped the rewards also, because one of the things I started doing for whatever reason is like cooking dinner prior to this. Like not like I don't have enough cameras to set up and all this other stuff. Like, but I'm like, you know what would be fun too is if I just wined and dined people as they came over here for these things. And so we ate some steak.
A fantastic steak, I must say too. Like it was. I'm not just saying this. It was very good.
Thank you.
Like I'm very full and happy right now. So
that's kind of the best part is like you're almost obligated to say that it was good. Like anytime you present somebody with something, right? You're like, oh, how'd you like it? And
well, Joe, the problem is it actually sucked. I'm just saying that.
Yeah,
it was terrible. I didn't totally just eat the whole thing.
This is the same way you describe my videos to your brother Durs,
of course, yeah.
Damn it. Dude, so first of all, I gotta say thank you for like taking the time to drive all the way up here. It's like
nothing. It's nothing.
I know, it's one of those things. Like I was telling a buddy of mine, I was like, man, I don't like if it's one thing I don't like, it's inconveniencing other people. It's like, man, a massive drive just to come up and BS around a fire. It's like So I appreciate it. I'm sure everybody in chat appreciates it. If I had to look down and say that we had 94 people watching right now, that's excellent. We're doing really well.
Hey, those 94 people hit that like.
Yeah.
Hit that like right now.
And yeah, it's a great point. Seabass knows how to do it. I've got a producer for this live stream, and he said to me, you've got to get out there and tell people to like this video. So I'm assuming the camera's on camera 1. You got to like this video, and there you go. By the way, I've managed to hire, you guys won't believe how much money I'm making at this now. I've hired a really elaborate producer. It cost me a lot of money, but here we are. I'm really in the hole on this, guys. We'll unveil that later.
He's in the negative. If he didn't want to say it, but he's in the negative for this. So
aren't we all?
Make sure to hit that like.
Yeah.
That's a reason to hit it. It helps him out.
Aren't we all, when we start all these things, like, and like the amount of time and investment, it's like for the longest time, anybody that creates content is just like doing it like pro bono, basically, like because we like doing it. And so over time, like as we enjoy doing what we like to do, and it starts to gain traction, like it's kind of rewarding, like right, like it's because for so long you're just like all personal time and money and everything else is just getting sunk right into this thing.
A lot of personal time. We'll come across like people out, you know, when we're filming, and you know, people we know, friends of ours or fans or whatever it might be. It's always like, oh, let's go for a ride, and I'm like with the camera and everything, and I'm like, I can't, I'm sorry, I gotta go film this video. Like, I'm so sorry, I'd love to. And it's like, you know, people think that we're just out there riding all the time. It's like, oh man, I wish that was the reality. We're out there every time I go to nature. It's like 9 times out of 10, I'm doing something that has to do with filming or something to produce some kind of content or some photos or whatever that might be. So it's a sad situation.
And it's harder now because I was talking about like the idea of just daylight non-existent now.
Oh,
so like
yeah, and then
you're
that,
literally fighting the sun, like fighting the clock. And like I'm filming, I was filming the bit like the headlight one where we're talking to each other and you can't see anything because the light keeps getting in your eyes. And like people would come up to me and I'm like, oh, I got like 30 minutes left. I gotta get this done. Like, okay, so here's something interesting. All right, let's, at the same time, at the count of 3, let's both say how many people usually recognize us on the local trail, okay? Like if we were to go out and then we're gonna say at the same time, we're gonna compare, okay? All right, ready?
Okay, like what percentage?
Yeah, no, like the number of people when we go on a ride that will recognize us.
Like ratio of the amount of people we see versus who recognize
so the
us?
people that recognize you. So for example, you just say like the number of people that recognize you on a normal ride, okay?
Okay.
And we're gonna compare, we're gonna say at the same time on the count of 3. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. 1.
3 out of 4 people.
Wait, you got more people that recognize you than me?
Maybe.
Damn it, Seabass.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't want this to happen.
I know. You're a popular man.
No, you're.
No, I'm just kidding. All right.
You're way more recognizable than I am, though. That mustache is flying, my guy.
I always tell people it's like basically like 87% mustache and 12% like actually good content. So it's like we're winging it. We're figuring it out.
Yeah, yeah.
So one of the things that's like interesting about you and like we've got a chance to hang out like once at Sea Otter, like which is random.
Like
we
the
ran
only
into each
time
other.
too. Like what the heck, man?
I know, but it's funny because it's a local event. I had never been to Sea Otter before, and so for me, like I had just gone to Sedona for the first time in November last year or whatever.
Nice.
They did another one in March. I forget. Sea Otter was like in.
I think it was in April or May.
So it was right after.
Yeah.
Which is very much like more an industry event I discovered than like Sedona.
Is. Yeah, it used to not be that way. I used to do Sea Otter back when I was a kid, and I used to race it and do all that stuff.
Well, you were doing XC racing at the time, right?
I did a little XC racing, but that wasn't my thing. I did it just to be with friends. But my thing was like the downhill racing. I love downhill racing. Like that was my thing back in the day when I was like from like 12 to like 16 years old. Like I really was into it. And that was the thing. Sea Otter was the event to go to, you know?
Yeah.
And so we did that like every year in my, up until I got my license. And then once I got my license, then it's like pile in with all the friends, do things that people of that age shouldn't be doing, and then like show up to the race, not in the perfect condition to race, and then just have a good time. So it was good. And I had that time that we saw each other at Sea Otter this past year. Yeah. That was like the first time going in like 8 years maybe. Yeah. Like it was a while since I had been, so it was really good to get back there, and I love that event. It has changed a little bit. It's definitely a little bit more, industry nowadays. Yeah. But it's still a very fun event. Like you're still going to see a lot of racers. You're still going to see all the pros that you want to see. You'll see like influencers like yourself, out there.
I ran it. So it was funny because I was out there too. I ran into Mo and Hannah, who I've talked to. I've ran into them in Sedona and stuff before, so they know who I am now. Like at first they didn't know, and I was really upset about that. But then I ran into him out there, and he was like, "Hey, you want some free gloves?" I'm like, "No, I don't need free gloves, Mo. Like, I just want to say hi. Like, that's all. Like, I'm working my way up the tiers."
Yeah. They're such good people too.
Oh, they really are. They're super rad. I thought it was interesting because like knowing Sedona is like very much like go ride your bike, then come hang at the festival. Yeah. And there it's like everybody. I don't know if this is true because I've only been there once, but like Sea Otter was like you got to register to race to ride, right? You're like, or is there local trails?
I think that you can. I mean, no one's stopping you from taking your bike and going doing whatever. Sure. But as far as to ride like on the courses of the events or the races and whatnot, they've gotten a little more strict as time has gone on. Like when I was a kid, you could literally, after the practices were done that day, if you were racing or even if you didn't have a number plate, you could take your bike out on the downhill course and mob that thing, and then and get hurt on it, and then just have a good time on it, right? Be with your friends, do laps, shuttle it, whatever you wanted to. But nowadays it's a little bit more, tighty. Like they don't really let people on the course unless you have a number plate, and then even when you have a number plate, like you can only rate or you can only practice like at the designated time where you can practice. So it's a little different nowadays, but yeah, that's.
So you got me thinking because like I know that you think the same way I do. We're always thinking in terms of bits and videos and all this stuff. Like my producer, we do that all the time. We talk about something and we just jump right in like, what would be funny? So you got the idea of like the number plate not being able to get on the course. Like my mind immediately goes, we should do a bit where we're selling illegal number plates so you can get on the course. Like just hawking like number plates.
Bootleg plates.
Bootleg plates.
Oh my Lord. Oh, that would get us kicked out so fast.
Oh, 100%. Like they'd have to catch us first, Like what if we were really sick riders? And it would be like, because I can't jump, but you can. So you could like jump and send them off the scent. And then I'd like just kind of like, I don't know. We can figure this out.
God. But future collab right there. There we go.
But it's so funny. Like I guarantee like our minds immediately go to that. You see something, you think about how to execute that idea. And it's like, oh, it's like brilliant.
Yeah. Always think about ideas.
I know, like, and it's because, like, I know that I have them, Jess has them, Brendan has them, like,
Mm-hmm.
all these really inventive creators. Like, we've got just a notepad full of ideas we talked about on a random live stream we did on IG one time.
Mm-hmm. That
And,
was so cool.
like, we've all got those, like, ideas we haven't made, those ideas that we, like, thought about and never filmed. Like, is there anything that's ever been just on the chopping block that's, like, not necessarily, like, just, like, we never got to it, or, like...
Well, as we were discussing earlier
Yeah.
over some juicy steaks.
Yeah.
There's quite a few videos we have definitely not released.
Yeah.
And for good reason. Because one, we would get canceled so fast.
Yeah.
So sorry, I'm not very PC of a person, but you know, I limit myself to what I send out to the world. And then two, they might offend some people a little too much, even though I don't like doing that. I like making fun of myself. So there's some times where if like I take a quality about myself and how I am as a person and like how I am in the bike world, like, and then maybe make a video out of it, it might not work very well for other people. Some people might be like, "Oh, that's a dick move. Why would you say that? Or why would you do that?" I'm like, I do that though. Like, you know, it's kind of awkward sometimes. But you know, in general, there are definitely some video ideas that they're never going to see the light of day.
Yeah.
I'll show you guys if you meet me in person, but I'm never going to show them out in public.
I think we all agree with that. Is there like a big one you're working on that's like super rad that you're stoked to talk about, or no?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, we've been pushing a lot on YouTube.
Yeah.
We've been really we're spending a lot of time on that.
Which, by the way, your YouTube game is strong, man. Not only like what I'm impressed about is like, I assume everybody knows that you're releasing full-length videos. Like if you don't, the people in chat, it's very important that you know that Seabass is making full-on YouTube videos. And not only that, but like you're doing the hard part, which is actually nailing down pretty decent thumbnails and titles. And like I looked at like the tire one where there's all the stuff in the tire. It's like, man, those are the hardest things to do in the YouTube game.
Yeah.
And like coming up with an idea and executing that real time in YouTube is tricky, man. So like you guys have been pumping them out pretty regular, not once a week, but or like
it depends. It's hard to pump out one video a week.
Yeah.
Like I've gained a massive amount of respect. Oh no, what's going on? I've gained a massive amount of respect for YouTubers, you know, and people who are pumping out content on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Because it's, you know, from the viewer's perspective, it's like, oh, they went on a ride and they turned their GoPro on and you know that, oh, we have a video now, right?
Yeah,
That's what we see from the viewer perspective. But when it comes to like actually filming, editing, doing all this stuff, we got a note.
We've got a note from our producer. Stand by one of our producers. We've got actually several producers today, including your brother Durs.
Literally 3 producers right now.
Whoa! We've got a donation that came in. Spokesman MTV donated $99.99. I'm gonna round that up to $100, ladies and gentlemen.
Dude, that is so intense.
$100 donation from Spokesman MTV. Let's all drink, he says. Cheers to you, my friend.
Cheers. Thank you so much.
The best part about this Post-it idea that I've had, because this is the first time I don't have a computer in front of me to see this stuff, is you just throw it right in the fire. I don't mean to like, Spokesman, I don't mean to like throw your donation in the fire. Like, it's not symbolic of anything.
Oh, dude, some ecoist is going to lose their mind now because you did
that. Perfect. That's perfect. Somebody's going to tell us that we can't have a fire outside these days. I think I got a notice in the mail the other day.
We're supposed to collect the smoke, I think, right?
Yeah, I'm going to recycle the smoke.
Recycle
We're going
it
to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
They sent me a notice like, make sure you notify us if you're going to have a fire. I'm like, are you crazy? Are you crazy? Look at this flannel. Of course I have a fire.
I was going to say, very festive of a flannel, too.
I know.
I think it's amazing.
That's this is like my Christmas. There's a funny story behind this shirt, by the way. I moved out to Denver, so the name Calirado Kid, people have asked me before, like, where it came from.
Yeah.
It came from, we lived in California forever, and then I got a job out in Colorado, and that's when my son was born, like on the crux, on the move between California and Colorado. So for a little while, we called him the Calirado Kid. And when I was thinking of names for the channel, that one stuck. Like I was like, dude, that's such a good, like, little punchy name. I came up with a bunch of other stuff, like really awesome guy and all this stuff, but none of it worked out. And then like we went to this event, and I bought this specifically for like a Christmas event. So like here we have this very Christmassy sweater, or like shirt that I only wear this time of year.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's a cool origin to that name, I must say.
I know, it's pretty good.
Colorado Kid, that's like, I've never heard anything even remotely close to anything like that. So hats off to you for a fully original name that I've never seen anywhere.
You know what the funny part is too? Like, and you will get this as well, where like people like realize even though you're having conversations, they don't know your real name. Like, and so like that's the weirdest part. I've told that story before where I went to Grand Junction. I rode with Shane, the crashing dad, and the first thing when we saw each other in the parking lot, like, hey, what's up, man? He's like, hey, my name's Shane, and I'm like, oh, I'm Joe. Like we didn't know who each other were. We were about to go on an adventure together. Like, that's kind of like creepy-ish, but like, in this weird world of the internet, we all have our own names.
Yeah, it's interesting, and then how people perceive like the name that you have.
Yeah.
Like I've heard so many different variations of, like I've heard like normal mountain biker, normal MTBer, like I've heard like all these different variations of it.
Yeah.
And then there's like a small few people who like actually go on to like the bio and see that I put my nickname there, Seabass, and they'll call me that. Or some people somehow, I don't know how, but they know my name is Sebastian.
Yeah.
And like they'll call me Sebastian. I'm like, dude, I've never met you before. I don't know. How do you know that?
Yeah.
Like, how do you know what my real name is? I've never told anybody that. But yeah.
That was always an interesting thing too. This is something that happened like way back in the day when I remember like years ago when I first got my Yeti. So it must have been like 4 years ago at that time when I just got it. I went on a first ride in Auburn and I went and Brian was there, BKXC, and he brought
nice.
Alex, single track sampler. They were on the Redemption tour.
Nice.
And so they we went out and rode and yeah, it was really interesting because I asked them then, I was like, how do you guys feel? Like, how do you deal with people that come up to you and they know your backstory? Like, because their videos were very like personable. Like, this is where I'm traveling. Like, you're spending 20 minutes with me on this video. Like, people knew them.
Yeah.
I was like, how do you deal with like people coming up that know you and you don't know, have a clue who they are?
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was really an interesting dynamic. Like, because you don't know where they came into your history. You don't know like, have they seen all your videos? Or they only follow you on TikTok? Do they only, you have no frame of reference. Like, it's so interesting.
No, it's definitely an interesting thing. It takes some getting used to as well, as you probably, are seeing yourself.
Yeah.
But just like when we're out riding, there'll be some times where, I'll be on some local trails of mine that are, backcountry type stuff, out deep. Like, it's not just a quick pedal up the fire road. It's like you're out there for a couple hours doing your thing. And then like I'll just be riding, have headphones on, just zoning out, doing my thing. And then like someone will ride by, and then I'll just like turn around just to see, and then they're just like there on their phone taking a picture. And I'm like, you can just like say hi. like it's a little.
Hey!
Oh, we got another one.
Whoa! Look at this, Seabass. This is perfect. This is the greatest system I've ever devised. Octodad MTB asks, "Is there a Miss Normal Mountain Biker?"
You want the simple question or the very complicated question?
Let's go. Complicated,
sorry.
says the producer. Yeah.
Complicated is my relationship is currently with Normal Empty Beer and my bikes.
Yes.
Simple question is no, absolutely not. Not right now, sadly no.
It's the perfect answer.
It'd be cool though, but no. So no, there's no Mrs. Normal Empty Beer. So.
That's one thing that's interesting too. Like oftentimes when you go on a ride, like it's cool because there's just people of all ages and ranges and everything. Now it's like, I think like everything's becoming like just wide open, and I love it because it's like, having that experience on the trail is just like, and I got kids, so like bringing them out to rides and like having people that are cool with us riding a little slower because they're with us and things like that. It's like, we live in a good time, man.
We really do. We really do.
But you ride a lot more shred-tastic stuff than I do because, like, I'm like, everybody's pretty well aware of the fact that I'm not that great of a rider. I'm a decent rider. Now, I've ridden with people like out at Downeyville, and I'll shred out there, and they go, "Oh, you can actually ride a bike?" I'm like, "Yeah,
you can ride a bike."
I'm good at it, but I'm like, my schedule's so hard that I'm not out there all the time. I've never been good at jumping, which is something I hope to remedy soon. Like, but everybody that I know,
with me more often, man.
But everybody that I know that jumps is breaking their collarbones and stuff, man.
Yeah, it happens.
God.
It happens from time to time.
Oh my God.
No, that's the thing. I grew up riding like BMX.
Of course you did. Everybody grew up riding BMX.
I'm sorry, I'm one of those kids that went from BMX to mountain biking. I'm sorry, get over yourself. but yeah, no, I did. That was my thing. We'd set up the jumps in the front yard, the plastic, crappy things from like Target or Walmart or whatever, and we'd be jumping like lengths of like, from like a couple feet to like a full car length. We thought we were the coolest kids in the world.
Yes.
Me and my brother Durs in the front yard with the neighborhood kids, and then then that turned into like BMX, then it morphed into dirt jumping, and actually the first time I got exposed to mountain biking was just on a family vacation. I feel like I've told this story like a million times, but it's like like literally the first place I ever properly rode a mountain bike was at Whistler.
Did you guys, you rented them?
Yeah. Back when Whistler had the old.
What the hell were you doing in Whistler? You didn't know anything about
mountain biking? It was just a family
biking.
trip. I didn't know anything about mountain biking at the time. Like I had no interest in it at all. I was just like the kid in the front yard hitting the plastic jumps. And then all of a sudden we go on a family trip to Whistler and we pull up to Blackcomb, the resort, right? And the moment you come around one of the bends, right? If you've ever been to Whistler, it's like this little village. You come around a bend and you see like the whole jump line there and like the trails and everything. And I was like, oh my Lord, I have to do that. And so we begged our parents, and they were very nice, and they got us rentals back then. It was the Kona Shreds.
Oh, Konas were the default rental everywhere.
Oh, they were. Oh man, that shaped my life. Oh, we got another. What is going on?
Wait, keep telling your story. I'm gonna get to this next. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the first time ever riding a mountain bike was literally at Whistler. We took a course, a little class. They had like rented a bike, went with some instructor, hit the trails. First time on a gondola ever was at Whistler, and since then it ruined me.
The question of the day is like, when you were doing that, did you know that you were at the Mecca? Like, did you know you were at the spot that everyone wants to get to?
Not initially.
Yeah.
It made sense once I started doing more research and getting more involved with the industry. It's like, there's nowadays there's a lot more places available, but back when I started, it was like you had Whistler, you had North Star here in California, and a couple miscellaneous bike parks throughout the country, and that was like it. Like I wasn't aware of anything else. There was no bike parks here and there, I started off when it was really still kind of a very grassroots sport. And then, as time goes on, more bike parks open. There's enduro racing that starts. And then downhill becomes like a bigger thing than it was before. And so,
as a side note, before we get to this question, I need you to explain to me the difference between enduro and downhill racing, because I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I told you I don't follow racing all that much, but what is the difference between enduro versus downhill?
So, as you know, I am a professional athlete.
Me too.
I've won like 14 different World Cups. Wait, what is it? What's that? Like I'm at 7 times 2. Yeah, 14 or 15 World Cups in downhill racing.
Wait, what world? Like Earth?
Like planet Earth.
Okay, all right, okay.
I'm actually gold medalist 16 times and adding on a couple. So I know my stuff really well, right?
Yeah.
And if I were to give the simple answer, which is the only answer I'm able to give,
Yeah.
it is that enduro you have to climb to the downhill stages, and then you do like multiple downhill stages, whereas just a downhill race, you just start at the top and then go down and that's your race.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
I think
that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, so that makes sense.
I might be way off. I might be way off for that.
People in chat are going to say that I should know this already, but no, this is how you interview someone. You ask them, act like you don't know, and then you get the information. You're like, oh yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I should definitely know, considering I've won like all these races, every single one in the world, at least once.
Yeah.
I mean, I should know this. I'm just one of those guys that just shows up, races and wins.
I mean, the truth of the matter is, I'd probably be more impressed if you said at least twice. But at least once, we've all done that.
Yeah,
everybody's done that.
Of course.
Jesus. Okay, side note, what is MTB Nick? MTB Nick, nice. Who are Seabass's sponsors and how did he get them?
Interesting. So the main sponsor we have, because obviously things are kind of towards the end of the year,
Sure.
We're having some additions and whatnot, right? But right now, the main sponsors is for the bikes. We're riding with Specialized, so it's been an awesome,
sexy bike in the background.
Oh yeah,
ladies
there
and
you
gentlemen.
go. See right there, boom.
I assume everybody's watched your bike videos, but the fact that you chromed out those, it's funny because who would have thought to do that is take the paint off the wheels? It looks baller, dude. And I don't see anybody else do that.
No, I was, like I was saying, I was very heavily influenced by racing and stuff back in my early days. So a lot of it's like old school to have just no paint on anything, right? Like the chrome or the polished or whatever, that look.
Yeah.
So I was like, dude, nobody's doing that nowadays. Why does nobody have polished wheels? And I actually saw, I don't know if you guys know who Adolf Silva is. He's got his Yeti that it was black with chrome wheels and everything. And I was like, dude, I got to recreate that for my next bike. And there we go. So I did it myself and absolutely love it. So bike sponsor is
we got Specialized. Yep. Anybody else?
And the way that I came across that, actually somebody reached out to me. One of my buddies, Curtis Keene, he was a pro enduro racer, one of the coolest freaking dudes out there.
Yeah.
He reached out to us and it blew my mind because I grew up watching him race and I was always a big fan of his, and it was got that message on Instagram way back. He found us when we were seemingly nobodies, right? And it was in the realms of social media, and it was that was a mind-blowing experience. So then from there it kind of just fizzled, and next thing you know, they're sending us bikes, we're going on film trips or whatever it might be. So that's where that comes from.
Yeah.
And of course, Cushcore too, right?
Is it really? I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, Cushcore as well. We're working with them, and I regardless of whether we're sponsored or not, I'm not just saying this. I was using Cushcore before we were sponsored, and I'm gonna use it if we ever not work sponsored with Cushcore anymore. So it's an amazing company. I use their products all the time. We also got Heatwave, which I'm like super repping them right now.
you really are.
Yeah.
Jesus, I should charge you for this. What the hell's going on here?
I didn't actually plan this. I didn't actually plan this. So yeah, so Heatwave, their glasses company, awesome. Love working with those guys.
Yeah.
And then we've got Jensen USA as well. We've got. Oh, I'm like seizing up. You're putting him on the spot here right now. But we've worked with like a bunch of other companies too. Like we've got like Bike Hardcore. They make like cleaning products as well. We've got Better Bolts as well. Like they make hardware for bikes.
Yeah.
Those,
yep.
Dude, those are so sick.
Those are
I
rad.
love those.
Yeah, those
they
are
actually
rad.
make a big difference too.
Those are rad.
I was surprised. I was like, oh, it's bolts. It's like, no, it's not just bolts.
Yeah.
They make a huge difference.
Yep.
So yeah. So, and if I were to give any advice, like just do something. If you want to get sponsored, anybody goes out there, just do something that separates you from the pack. And companies are really looking forward to that. So
I would say a big trick too is just reaching out with a concept. Like that's one of the things I've found success with, is just reaching out and saying like, hey, I got this idea. Like, and they're like, oh, that's actually a great idea. Like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? Like that's been my experience thus far, and it's been really good. As a side note, since you're plugging your sponsors, do you mind if I plug my sponsors?
No, you can't do this. This is my show.
No. Hey, take it easy. Take it easy. It's my backyard. All right. Cut to camera one, producer. Thank you so much. Look, I'd like to take a moment to thank my sponsors. My mom. For like, you know, encouraging me, and that's it. Let's get back to the interview. Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. Sorry. Damn it. Yeah. Worldwide Cyclery. What an idiot I am. Worldwide Cyclery. It's been so long.
This is why you don't have whiskey with podcasts.
God, yeah,
this is what happens.
This is the funniest part, though. Like I've been doing this so long. Like it's like funny that I've developed that partnership. Like I haven't done a Fireside Chat since I've done that. So like it's cool because like this immediately happened like right off the bat. Like Brian messaged me. He's like, hey, Jeff and Jared are like interested in working with you. I was like, yes, like immediately. And like there was a no-brainer right off the bat, because Jeff and Jared from Worldwide Cyclery, they make funny videos. They're comedic. They're funny as hell. They've got a good business structure. They've got a good business mind. Jeff's a genius, and I was like, that is worth its weight in gold just for like working with them on a regular basis and like bouncing ideas off each other and having, you know, those connections in the industry. So they run a great business, but it's like it's going to be such a fructiferous endeavor, you know, anyways, you get the idea. Like, so they're super rad. Worldwide Cyclery is incredible. By the way, if you cut to camera one still, they are doing a worldwide blowout sale all the month of November. I put an affiliate link down below, believe it or not. And if you buy anything through there, it helps out the old Calirado Kid. So now that we've officially plugged everything, thank you to our producers. We have like 18 of them now, I think. Like,
they just keep multiplying over there.
We're doing good. We will reveal who's behind the cameras, by the way. You guys probably already figured out Jay's back there, but there's other people too. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. Okay, we're gonna get back on track. All right. So
breather here.
we covered. I know we covered all your sponsors.
We got sponsors. All right. What else?
Jesus.
What other business-related things do we need to take care of right now?
So far, you've one-upped me on the amount of people that recognize you on the trail. You've also one-upped me on how many sponsors you have. Seabass, I don't appreciate it.
Jersey's coming in here.
Okay,
disrupting the show again, dude. What the hell's going on here, man?
By the way,
Jeez.
This is perfect. This is the greatest idea I've had in my life.
Who does he think he is, dude? I gotta fire him. Jeez.
Yeah. God damn it. All right. As a side note, when it comes to donations, I was like, well, since this is the first time I don't have like chat in front of me regularly, I was like, well, I told them, I was like, anybody that donates over $10, bring over a note with a donation. But this is great working out for questions too.
Nice,
so,
nice.
All right, Semi-Sendy, we know Rich. Rich is incredible.
Of course, yeah.
He asks, is Seabass's brother in Workaholics?
All right, since he's not mic'd up, I'll explain this.
Yeah.
Yes, his name is derived from that from back in the day, but it's short for his first name, which is Andreas. We just call him Durs or Dursey or Durzis or whatever. His name, his nickname like changes constantly. So yeah. Oh, dude, what? You called the cops on me?
Whoa.
Why are the helicopters coming in right now?
It's not the best neighborhood, Seabass. It's not the best neighborhood.
What is going on here, man?
We work with what we got. I was warning
far.
warning you at the beginning before we jumped on the live stream too. I'm like, there's a neighborhood skunk going around. So I'm like, there could be a random skunk that pops through this live stream. And if so, how incredible would that be?
Are you sure it's a skunk, man? We are in California at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You sure it's a skunk?
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, 100% good point. Yeah. Jeez Louise. So this year, there's a ton of stuff going on coming up into 2023. And you're like, okay, so we have to bring it all the way back before I talk about like goals going into 2023, right?
Yeah.
Like when you first started, like, did you have any idea that any of this stuff was going to happen, or it was going to go crazy, or it's like, of course, just working it and figuring it out as you go, right? Like,
oh yeah, no. When we started this, we were like, oh, it'd be cool to like, you know, have like a small community, or you know, and have you know, it'd be cool to get recognized and stuff like that. But really, the main thing, we were just like, dude, let's just make funny stuff. excuse me, and like it wasn't, and we didn't even start with comedy for the people who have been watching for like, you know, since day one. Like we were literally just making riding content.
Yeah.
You know, we made the riding, the comedy stuff just randomly. I was like, oh, let's try this out. The internet seems to be doing this, so let's try it.
Yeah.
And we did it, and then we're like, oh, people like this. But we never thought it was going to get like this, even like at all, you know. And here we are, like 2 years. It was 2 years, this last October actually, of like us. I don't really consider it 2 years because it's only really been a year since we've been actually doing, you know, what we're doing now. So yeah, I did not expect at all. What about yourself? Did you think that you were going to be where you're at now?
Yeah, I fucking knew it. Yeah, right off the bat, I knew it was going to be the greatest. No, it's you know, all you got to do is try. Like you just like we probably all started with just like, hey, I think this is funny, and like let's put it out there, and like you find out people dig it. So like we get lucky in that regard that we can do something that's our sense of humor, and we can push it out there, and people relate to it and think it's funny. So it's like that's been very beneficial because to this date, I haven't really had to make anything I don't want to make, like which is nice. Like that's really cool. And even when it's come to the sponsored stuff, like it's been like they all appreciated my ideas, and I was able to make what I wanted to make. You know what I mean? So it's like I feel like I don't want to have to do anything that I don't want to do because I immediately lose interest. Like I thought about the idea like early on, like, okay, well I know how to work all this stuff. Obviously I figured out the live stream stuff. I figured out the studio build side. I knew how to do how to do all this. But my interest in like doing it for other people is very low.
Like
does that make sense?
Other people's and other brands and
or like
doing
it like making people's videos for them like never interests me really. And like I mean, of course, they offer me $1 million, maybe my views would change, but like my interest level would wane, right?
Yeah.
So like the idea that we're able to make the things that we want to make and like make money from it is fascinating. Like, it's a really cool time.
Yeah, you know, it's important to also note that like, you know, I mean, speaking for myself here, like we would like where Normal MTV is today would be absolutely nothing if it wasn't for the fans. Like the people who are watching every single video, like the people we meet out in public, like none of it's taken for granted, like at all. Like I'm just like every time someone recognizes, you know, the page or sees me from a video or something, my mind is just blown. Like whoa, like this, like really, that's how much of an impact this is making.
It's
and
so
it's like
rad.
you know, and like so seeing people out there in the wild and seeing the people who are regularly commenting on stuff, like the people who are sharing the videos and stuff, like I'm so just like. It's such a like happy feeling knowing that there's a community, you know, because it's like there's the aspect of it. It's social media, right? There's this kind of underlying like whatever. It's social media, but the reality is that like this is a community. Like these are people who you know that we may not necessarily see who they are, and they might not necessarily ever really meet us. But we have built a community, and like we're getting people stoked to ride. They're stoking me to ride. They're oh, we got another one.
The Nerf dart going our way. I should give you a
good.
Nerf gun and you can shoot it right to me. That'd be brilliant. I also have a BB gun in the garage if you want to deliver them that way. Okay, I get it.
I should have brought my heat waves, man.
Jesus. Oh my
Shameless plug.
Yeah, I think one of the interesting things we talked about also is the idea that like, okay, so as we do all this stuff, and it's fun because like at first it's easy to like, I know, okay, hold on, let me do the donation first. I'm gonna lose my train of thought. All right, my producer's yelling at me. All right, Semi-Cindy jumped in and donated $10. She says this money must go to Durs and only Durs.
Dude, you're bringing in racks here, man.
Durs, I'm Venmoing you later, buddy. Don't worry, I'll take care of you. I'll take care of you. Durs for president.
Durs for president. There we go. Yeah.
It's so funny because, like, yeah, we talk about like the idea of as like on social media, it's very easy to share a video that's anonymous. Like, oh, look at this funny thing, and then just move on. The fact that people stick around and watch things regularly on social media, that's not necessarily always like what social media tends to do. So it's cool because there are people that go like, I can't wait for the next, you know, Normal Mountain Biker video. Like I want to watch every one. Like that's interesting to me because like to me, like a lot of people just like watch video, just scroll through and it's random. It's random. Like you don't get that regular feed of a person. So it's cool that that happens. And another thing we talked about is the idea that like, you know, people getting into the sport and stuff and the influence that like people have, and you don't realize like we talked about Brian, BKXC, like somebody who's a major influence in the industry. There's a lot of people that do that on major YouTubers that create likable, relatable videos that maybe people got into mountain biking because of that. Like
Seriously, yeah.
And it's so cool. That's how I got into it. And I think that had some influence. Well, you were already a world famous BMXer, so.
I was not, absolutely
Jesus.
not. I only won like 3 or 4 X Games at that point. Yeah.
This is a video. This is a video idea right here, by the way. Is like, oh, how'd you get into mountain biking? Oh, I was a BMXer. Yeah, of course you were. Jesus.
No, it's really cool. You know, at the end of the day, you know, we're the main goal that I have is to get people to ride a bike. You know, I don't care what kind of bike it is. It's like, just get out there, ride a bike, because that's what really changed my life to the point where, you know, I see the world differently than I would if I had never been on a mountain bike, right? You know, just the fact that you can connect to nature, you can make amazing friends. I mean, like, we're literally sitting here because of mountain bikes.
I know.
Right?
It's crazy.
You know, and oh, here comes Jay again.
Wait, what is he?
What is he doing?
You are so dumb.
I'm sorry if my laugh is annoying, guys. I apologize.
So dumb. I can't begin to tell you how dumb you are.
Wait, can you guys figure out who the producer is yet? Thanks, Jay.
I don't know if you guys can hear the British accent in the background, but you can probably figure out who it is by now.
It's Australian,
Oh,
the Australian
sorry,
accent
yeah.
in the background,
Yeah.
yes. Pro did $5. Money goes to producers. Hey, I know why you guys
Hey,
said
the
this over here.
producers.
Money goes to producers.
There we go. They didn't even hear you. They're over there chatting.
They're bickering.
They're,
Look at,
you know, they should be on the Fireside Chat. I don't know what they're doing back
guys are
there.
supposed to be running the show over here. I should have hooked up a GoPro for a 4th camera that I could pan over there. I could still do it, but
Hilarious.
you guys will see the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
All right, we're back. We're back. Everything's
All right,
back.
all right, ignore those guys.
It's
I don't
very
know what's
meta.
going on over there.
Not that we lost our train of thought or anything. It's fine. Everything's fine. But we were talking about like the YouTubers that influenced us and all this stuff. And it's like, man, I think about the amount of people, like some of these just basic YouTubers and content creators, like got people into the sport and stoked, and like maybe they never seen mountain biking before, and they're like, that looks really cool.
Yeah.
And I like what you bring up about the idea that like mountain biking brings you into nature and brings you into this.
Yeah.
And like a lot of us are firm believers it's the best sport in the world because like I'm not on the couch watching football anymore on Sundays. I'm out riding in nature. Like I'm just out having a blast, and I'm loving the bike. And there's nothing wrong with watching football, by the way. But like I can't imagine sitting around for 8 hours on a Sunday inside watching football now. Like I would rather just be riding, enjoying. Either it could be kayaking or whatever else too.
Yeah.
But I found that like mountain biking was like the gateway drug, if you will, to others.
Oh, yeah.
Like because like at the time I was kind of like regressing back into like just sitting at home and all that stuff. And when I finally like saw Brian start a YouTube channel, I got into it and I started riding. It was the catalyst to get back into kayaking. I bought some kayaks. I got more camping gear. I got like, it was like, boom, now we're just like, it opens the door to like wanting to adventure.
Yeah.
Right? And like, do you ever find like when you go out now, like you when you plan a destination, it's because there's riding there, right? Like, do you ever go anywhere that doesn't have
9
trails?
times out of 10 for sure, yeah. I'm like, I think, first of all, are there trails? Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
Should I bring my bike? 100% yes, even if there's not trails.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you're going to find something.
Dude, the best part is too is like, okay, are there trails? How good are the trails? You're like,
Yeah,
they're like,
how
oh,
good
you
are
want to go to
they?
the
Yeah.
Swiss Alps? Like, how good are the trails? Are they pretty good or?
Oh, they're good.
Okay, well,
They're
there we
good.
go. Wait, what do you mean you rode the Alps?
Not the Swiss Alps, but the Austrian and German Alps.
Wait, there's different Alps?
Well, I mean, it's like the Alps. It's like the mountain range, but it kind of crosses into like 10 different countries.
I'd also like to point out, once again, I'm doing the thing where I act like I don't know, and I ask him, and it's about engagement. Then.
Oh, okay. Well, then in that case, no, there's only one Alp.
Wait, which Alps did you ride?
No, we've done some riding in Innsbruck in Austria.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard of that, like
Austria.
as far as the riding there.
Well then, good day,
Austria.
mate.
It's Austria. I mean, you're American at the end of the day, right? So it's like apparently Americans don't know anything about the world.
Culture, you know.
No, we've done some riding in Innsbruck, some riding in southern Germany.
Yeah.
Our family's from Germany and throughout Europe, so we would go there, you know, as kids and go and visit the family and then stop through some place where there's some way scarier riding over there than it is here.
I believe it.
Way scarier.
It's like going to Squamish. It's terrifying.
Oh,
In
yeah.
the
Oh,
North
yeah.
Shore. It's like, dear God. Wait, so you've got family currently living there?
Yeah.
In southern
Yeah.
Germany and stuff? Do you speak German then?
Yes, but I'm getting worse over the time.
Okay,
over
let's
the
hear.
years.
Let's compare our German accents, and we're gonna have chat decide who has the best
Okay, all right,
German
all right,
accent.
all right, let's do
Okay,
it.
wait, hold on. I have to drink a beer because this
Yeah,
is how I know you weren't even reaching for the beer yet. So it was
Yeah,
like, if you're German, you just. Okay, you go
Oh,
first.
very good whiskey, by the way.
It's good.
Very good.
Redwood Empire, they're local, Sonoma.
Oh, no
good.
way, nice.
Okay, you
Okay,
ready?
let's
You
hear
go
it.
first.
What do you want me to say?
Whatever.
Okay, I'm gonna say a simple one just because it's the most hilarious
That's
one.
what I'm gonna do. A simple one.
I'm
too,
gonna
yeah.
say, I love you.
Okay.
Ich liebe dich.
Ah, ich liebe. Ja, sehr gut.
Sounds so violent.
Sehr gut. Ich möchte 2 Bier, bitte, und ein Bratwurstenbrötchen. Incredible. Who would
I
have thought?
just showed up by
Right?
Joe over here.
I know.
What is going on?
I gotta dominate something tonight.
What's going
My
on
God.
here?
That's basically like, it's funny because I took, Brian, BKXC and I took German in high school, and there is a long lost video that exists. It's called Der Briefträger kommt, which is like, what
is that? Does the mailman
the mailman comes. Yeah.
What?
And so if I could ever find this VHS tape, I will unleash it to the world, I promise. I was searching around when I had Brian on the Fireside Chat a year or something ago. I was trying to find it. I can't find it, but it exists, and I didn't throw it away. So somewhere, it's somewhere. And it's basically about a homeless mailman that breaks into people's houses to deliver the mail.
What?
Yeah.
That's such a German thing.
I swear.
That
yeah.
is such a
Those
German
Germans
thing.
always
Oh my
breaking
God.
into houses and being homeless.
Oh my.
No, I don't know.
Well, I got to ask, on
Yeah.
the German subject,
Yeah.
how many of your followers are from Germany?
Germans love me. I'm like the
Yeah.
next David Hasselhoff. Like, I'm basically like right up there. Guarantee you ask anybody in chat. They know.
Oh,
No, nobody's going to know.
Yeah. No, there's some stuff going on there.
Yeah, they're talking away.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. The bike community in Germany is growing massively. I was so surprised to see it. Like, you go on YouTube and you see like the video of like, in analytics, and it tells you, oh, from the Philippines, from Australia.
Yeah.
It's like Germany's like always 1, 2, or 3. Like
Yeah.
in that order. I'm like, what is going on here? It's pretty cool.
I don't know anything about the riding over there. It's like some guys were telling me about it. I'd love to go back there. I love Germany. So the time that we spent in Germany was kind of southern Germany. So we ended up going, we did München, which is Munich, of course,
yeah.
and then the Black Forest, and we went to Neuschwanstein
Nice.
Castle and a bunch of
Nice.
other stuff.
Yep.
We went to a town called Rothenburg, which is like an old medieval town, like great stuff. And then we eventually ended up in Berlin, and Berlin was fun, but it was very modern compared to wait, what's happening? I'm just getting
you got
scared. I
another
hear
one here.
something behind me. There it is, yes. Oh, beautiful.
What are you? He's just laying back there. Can you see that on the camera?
Oh my God. Yeah, you guys
Joe,
he had one job.
be in the show.
You could see him. Yeah, beautiful.
This is amazing.
This is so good.
Oh, he's gone.
This is so good. So I remember going, into Germany. It was like really interesting because like the funnest parts were like Munich was a party town. It felt like.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
then Berlin was very like different. It was a big city. Like, but like one of the things I noticed that of course like during the war, like a lot of that stuff got destroyed. Like
Yeah.
versus going to Italy, where in Italy like everything's from year zero, and
Yeah.
going into Germany was a lot of stuff that had to be rebuilt. So
Oh,
it
yeah.
was a different
Yeah.
experience, but it was like still like people are amazing. And if it's one thing you learn when you travel across the world, it's like people are mostly people, man. Like everywhere
Yeah.
you go, you can just like they're all just people trying to get by like us, and it's so cool.
Of course,
Everybody's so
of course.
hospitable, like
Yeah.
happy to grab a beer with you. It's like so cool, man.
Yeah.
There's so much down negative news on humanity these days. I'm like, man, humanity's great. Like everywhere I go, people are just so hospitable. We go to Mexico once a year, visit
Yeah.
family. It's just welcoming as hell, man.
I know why that is. Why everyone's
Yeah.
so doom and gloom today.
Yeah.
Nobody's riding bikes except for
That's
mountain
the
bikers.
problem.
Why is it? Come on, everyone's got to get on a bike.
Yeah.
Go out to the mountain. Everyone's got mountains. I mean, unless you're living on like the Great Plains somewhere.
Yep.
I'm sorry, you probably don't have mountains, but you got like at least a hill somewhere. Just get
Yeah.
on a bike.
I know.
Go out, go over there. Go right down it. Your
Even
life
if-
might change.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's a great point. Like I remember during the height of COVID, people were scared to go outside. Like even us, it was a weird situation because we got kids and stuff, and
Yeah.
so like, man, I was just like, I think a lot of the problems could have been resolved by just going and walking outside for a little bit. You know, like
Yeah.
getting some fresh air.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna jump into this. What do we got? Semi-Cindy. Oh, here we go.
Oh,
Rich
we-
is going in town tonight. All right, he's taking center stage here. Hey, Seabass. What do you say? Pit Vipers, hot or not? And okay, we're gonna tackle that one first. Pit Vipers, hot or not?
By
You can't
contract,
say it
I am
'cause you have a
obligated.
contract,
No, Pit Vipers are sick. I like them. They're sick glasses.
Yeah.
I used to wear them all. I still have some pairs. You know.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
awesome
But he is
glasses.
not sponsored by
But
them.
Heat wave all the way. Heat wave or no wave, as multiple of my friends always say.
Take it easy, Rich. Don't get my buddy in trouble here, okay? We don't need that tonight. We don't need it. Oscar says, apparently, this is very tiny. Wait, you wrote an emoji here? Who did this? Apparently, Semi-Cindy has a home then something.
A home than something.
There's like a Pac-Man emoji on here. I can't quite make this out. Oscar, what a hell. We nailed it. Okay, perfect.
I got something.
Yeah.
To change the tempo
Okay,
here a
let's
little
do it.
bit. I brought something which
Okay.
is kind of intense.
Okay.
You don't have to be up for it.
Why do I feel like you're going to bring out a chip?
Oh no, it's not hot. It's,
Oh, I thought you were gonna do like a one-chip challenge or
It is
something.
probably worse though.
Okay, all right. I'm down for whatever.
Okay.
What's the worst that
You
could
ready
happen?
for this?
Okay.
I'm gonna pull a suspicious bottle.
Okay. Bottled
Can you read what that says?
lard?
No. Lard.
Hold it up to the camera. Can the camera see?
I don't know if the camera can see that.
Wait, hold it up to this camera right here. Camera 1. He's gonna. I don't know what this says. So we're on camera 1 here. It'll zoom in. Wait, if I cover my face, it'll zoom in on it.
Oh, it did.
See?
Oh, sick.
It's the facial detection's too good. Okay, there you go. All right.
This is sniffing salts.
Sniffing salts.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh God.
He knows what's going on here. He knows. Sniffing salts.
So what do we do?
Is one of the most gnarly experiences you will ever have in your entire life.
Wait, let's put a super chat limit.
Yeah, I didn't know this was about to happen. Okay.
1,000K is the limit.
I'm sorry,
10,000.
Someone do $20, and then Joe has to do sniffing.
Wait, we have to both do it, or I have to do it?
I already did it this morning. I'll do it again,
Jesus.
no problem.
Wait, what the hell?
I'm all about pain.
He brought the ball to school.
Oh, okay.
So he gets to choose.
Oh my God.
All right,
the
20
hell?
bucks we'll do it. Well, he has to do it.
What do you do? How does it work?
Want me to demonstrate for you?
Yeah, you don't have to do it, but yeah.
Oh, I'll do it. I'll do
Okay,
it.
all right.
I will do it. Prepare yourselves, okay?
Okay, all right.
You sit.
I am sitting down. I have to stay.
You're voluntarily going to do this.
I'm voluntarily going to do this.
This sounds like an awful idea for the guy who has to host a live stream right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm actually kind of nervous because it's just miserable.
You guys are getting your money's worth tonight,
Okay.
which is nothing. Thanks everybody in chat for being here tonight.
So I
by
open
the
it up.
way.
It's this little powder right there, right?
Okay. Oh no! All right, give it to me. Give it to me. Fuck.
Someone, you don't want to get it.
What are we doing?
Oh!
Wait, why are we doing this? Wait, how big do you whiff? Now you
Just-
scared me.
Hold on 1 second. 1 second.
I'm becoming less and less likely that I want to do this. Oh, it stinks already.
Okay.
It stinks already.
Yeah. Okay. So just bring it up
Yep.
and like that.
Oh, now you got me scared.
No, bring it in like it's a good woof. Oh, that was
Okay.
nothing. That was
No,
nothing. You gotta bring it in.
alright.
Come on. Come on.
That went right to the core.
Oh yeah.
Jesus.
Yes. Yes, he did. He did it. Yes.
Oh, right in the mommy daddy button.
Oh, you feel it like in your
Oh,
brain.
wow.
It
What is
so-
in that?
It is like ammonia nitrate or something. That's,
God.
You ever seen like when like someone gets knocked out at like a punching
Yeah.
or something? That's like whenever you see the guys like bring something up to their nose and they all of a sudden jump. That's what that is. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the most powerful one I was able to find.
Wow.
Yeah, so-
God. Dude, it's like, what the hell kind of feeling is that?
yeah.
It's like a lightning bolt right in your gullet.
Yeah. Oh, it hits you hard.
Oh.
I'm a little more used to it because I've done it since I got that. I've done it like 5 times, but just because. I mean, why not?
Oh.
We gotta live life, you guys. Come on, seriously.
I think I know why that wakes people up now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Holy crap.
You know, I'm amped up,
You know what
man.
it feels like? It feels like you're just taking a dose of chlorine to the nose or something.
Oh, yeah.
It felt like,
Oh, it's bad.
straight up that.
Well, they used to bring people back if they've had an overdose.
So this is how they make zombies?
Now, if you're a zombie, this is how they get you.
Oh, God, yeah. That's intense. And I'd much rather do that than a big old needle of the heart, like in that one movie Pulp Fiction, which is absolutely
Yeah.
terrifying.
Just wait. Give it like a few minutes. Everything will start to get very vibrant.
Whoa.
And like everything's gonna be very clear all of a sudden.
God.
Yeah, it's intense.
I'm
It's
trying not
very
to let
intense.
chat see me pick my nose live on stream, but it's very close to happening. Holy crap,
I'm
that's
sorry.
intense, dude.
That's got to be a world first on the Fireside Chat.
No,
isn't it?
no question about it. Side note is, like, what made you want to track down smelling salts?
I saw it somewhere. I forget where I saw it, but I saw it and I was like, dude, I have to try that. Like, I was like, there's no way. Like, they can't be that bad. And then I got it. And it's way worse than I thought it was.
Dude, you probably went
Way
all in the
worse.
first time, right? You had to
Oh
have
yeah.
gone all,
Oh, I didn't even know. And
Yeah.
and the second time I did it, like I had one nostril was clogged up, so it all went up one.
Oh.
It was terrible. It
Oh.
was so bad. It was so bad.
Oh.
But
You
there,
should-
see, it brings up the mood a little bit,
Oh.
right? It's like oh, chatting, talking.
Oh my God! Whoa, we're back! Hey, everybody! Oh my God! Yeah, you should just put an affiliate link down below. You guys can pick up your own.
Oh yeah,
smelling
not
salts.
sponsored. That's literally just.
We'll add an Amazon affiliate link later for
Yeah.
you guys to pick it up. God, by the way, somebody go get the bomb. Let's do that while we're here.
Yeah.
Just go still. We got a couple extra pieces of steak, right?
Oh,
Just like,
no. That stuff's made of like California Reaper or Colorado. Wait, well, I'm messing up the chili names.
Yeah, the
Carolina Reaper.
Carolina.
That's
The Carolinas make the best.
It's the Calirado
Reapers.
Reaper, dude.
Yeah, the Calirado Reaper. That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Dude, here's what I think about the hot sauce challenge. We're going to get back to bikes. I guarantee it, ladies and gentlemen in chat, we're going to get back to bikes, don't worry. But one of the things about it is like you ramp up your heat. So like it gets hotter and hotter. So by the time you get there, it still punches you right in the face. It hurts really bad, but like you've had some warm up. If you were to go in cold on that, I have a feeling it would be way worse. Like just taking that
for sure,
straight.
For sure, yeah.
It'd be brutal, dude.
Yeah, I've tried a little bit of that sauce before, but I've never done a full thing.
When we did it here with Brian, I was like, hey, you up for it? He's like, yeah. I told the wife, she was prepping everything inside. I was like, hey, douse them, like cover them in sauce. And she did such an amazing job because when we got to it, it was like our fingers were like already a quarter-inch thick into it. Like when we just squeezed in, you're like, oh.
You know, the worst thing is like stuff of that spice caliber. Like when you get up that Scoville scale, up to the higher echelons of that stuff, it takes like a minute for the heat to hit you. So you try it and you're like, oh, it's not bad. And all of a sudden, bam, it just hits you like a train.
Oh my God. It was this time last year too, or somewhere around there because the oranges were getting ripe. And I remember it was so hot, we started grabbing oranges off the tree, just biting right into them. And I was like, all right. I don't know if anybody in chat's done the hot sauce challenge, but it's fascinating. It's actually kind of fun to like get the whole pack and just get friends together and do it. Because it's like a great party thing. You just spend an hour and a half just hanging out, eating wings, and you just, all right, go to the next one. It's like a fun little like way to hang out. It doesn't have to be done live on stream, but it was fun. It was super fun.
Well, if you do it live, only have, my suggestion would be, only have the first like hour of that experience.
And that's kind of what we did. Yeah, we did like an interview and then we did a little bit of it.
Yeah, because then the second hour is a lot of time spent in the bathroom.
It's too much. Yeah, a lot of hot caca. Hot caca all across the board. God. So we're going to bring it back to bikes because I always promise people, look, we get detoured real fast. But like, okay, so if you were to say like, we're going to cover two topics. One, you're probably the favorite place you've ridden thus far. And then two, maybe a dream location you want to ride. Like, where's the spot you haven't? So let's do, like, where's the favorite place you've ridden so far?
Oh, that's a good one. So the thing is, it's a hard question to answer because I've been able to ride in like a lot of really great places.
Here, it'll be easier to answer.
Oh, yeah.
Like, all right,
So I gotta say, I gotta split this up. Let's just say I'm not gonna include Whistler, right? Because that's just a cheap shot. I'm not gonna include Whistler.
I'll agree to that rule. I agree with that,
everyone knows Whistler's the best, right?
Yep.
I would say the place I've enjoyed the most riding in the last like year or so of my life has been at Highland Bike Park in New Hampshire.
Oh, interesting.
Up in the northeast of the United States.
What are you doing in New Hampshire?
So I was just there randomly for a trip. And
I don't even know where that is.
Yeah, it's over there somewhere. But it's a beautiful place. I mean, the people there are fantastic. Very nice people all the way. Everyone on the East Coast up there, the Northeast, everyone's very nice. And the riding is world class, man. I'm telling you, the trails are sculpted to perfection. Like the dirt there is so much better than anything we have around here. Like you know more than I do. You go up to the Sierras, I know. It just turns into powder. Yeah, and you're like, what is this?
100% true. Yeah.
And then if it rains, it's just mud. And you're like, what's going on here? Yep. You know, out there on the East Coast, it can be dry or it can be raining. It doesn't matter. The trail condition only is slightly dry or slightly wet. Like it's never miserable like it is out here, right? And so the trail crew, specifically at Highland Bike Park, they just do an amazing job. You know, they've been able to pump out like this incredible bike park on like only like 100 and something acres. Like it's not even that large of an area, as opposed to like, you know, a standard bike park like Whistler's like thousands and thousands of acres. This is only like 100 and something acres. So it's like tons of trails, like of all skill levels. Like, and there's some stuff like I maxed my skill out before I maxed out the trail capabilities. There's some big stuff, there's small stuff. It's absolutely amazing. So like,
how'd you find out about that place? I've never even heard of it.
I don't remember exactly how. I know that the reason why I went there was just some random trip we were doing, like as a family trip. And, And I was just looking. I'm like, oh well, I'm gonna be gone from home for like 2 weeks. Let me see if there's any riding. I can bring my bike and we can film videos and stuff. And Highland popped up, and I was like, I remember seeing something like this.
Interesting.
And I'm like, oh, that's the bike park that Aaron Chase, he's a pro rider. You know, Aaron Chase rides there all the time. I'm like, oh, Highland Bike Park, New Hampshire. That's gonna be like an hour away from where I'm gonna be. So I ended up going there, and I found out it was like the best bike park I've ever freaking been to. It was amazing.
So we're gonna diverge tactics real quick before we get into the destination you want to ride. I want to so you're talking about all these family trips. I'm interested because like, what does your family think about what you're doing now? Is it like blowing their minds? Is it like, were they always supportive? Like if you've taken family trips to do all these things and you rode there and it's like your favorite places and memories are there, like what do they think about all this?
I would say my parents. I'm very lucky to still have my parents.
Yeah.
They're like very supportive. They are extremely stoked. Like at first you could tell they were like, what are you doing? Like they're like, why did you leave your job? Why are you doing this? You know, but as time progressed and they kind of saw where it was going, you know, they were like, oh crap, like holy crap. And now it's to the point where like even their friends, sorry mom and dad if you're watching this, I'm gonna kind of brag
Trust
about.
me, they're not watching this. Trust me. Yeah, trust
no,
me.
they probably will.
No, God.
They watch everything. They're obsessed. So
I
they're
apologize
guaranteed
in
they're gonna
advance.
watch this.
Yeah.
But they like even their friends now are like, oh, I saw his videos, and I'm like, oh wow, my parents' friends are like watching this stuff, you know. But I will say, my grandparents have absolutely no clue what we do.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like they're like, oh, they're mountain bikers, and somehow they're doing something, and I don't know what they're doing, you know. And it's interesting. So I try to explain to them, but you know that generation from the 1920s and 30s, like they don't even know what the internet, like they barely know what the internet is.
I know. I used to have
not
to
to speak bad about people who are that old, but I'm just saying, like, it's a different world.
My grandpa was a pure mechanic, man. He was in World War II. He wasn't he told me once that he was trained to be a mechanic, and then at one point they got him into fly, and he's like, I don't want to do this. And so like he liked working on the planes, but he didn't like flying them. So he was good at that. At some point I found out recently that he got stationed essentially with an officer in World War II, and they would drive around Europe, and like when a plane got downed, they would go drive to the plane and overlook the crash and just look at it. So that's what I heard recently. It was really fascinating. My grandpa's, of course, that generation is always very reserved. So my grandpa was always incredible. Like the time I spent with him, he was very mechanically inclined. He always appreciated me because I got into engineering. So I was building, you know, I had a technical knack. So he kind of appreciated that. Like we always bonded on that and fishing and stuff. But yeah, he had no clue about tech. I would have to go over and program his remote. You know, like and also like, can you blame someone like that? They're like, I'm done learning new stuff. Like at this point, I'm freaking done. Like he was 90 something when he passed away. He was in his 90s. Like he lived it good, man. He did fine.
That's amazing.
So.
I mean, they have the advantage over us because if they like have like we can ask them, hey grandma, go turn on the computer and then go to Google, right? And she'll no clue how to do it, right? But then they ask us, hey grandson, go and rebuild that catalytic converter.
Exactly.
Or go rebuild. I'm already. Go rebuild the fuel injection system on that car. Like it's not gonna happen. Like you know.
AAA.
Yeah. AAA, exactly.
Hello.
Yeah.
It's so true. Well, that's cool, man. Like. It's hard, like, because sometimes people don't know what to make of it. Like the idea that we live in and we're going to get back. Trust me, we're going to bring it all back to this next destination. Don't worry. But we live in a time where you can create something from something you love. Like you can find something you like, and it's totally possible to make money at it and make a living at it. It's like you just have to be willing to push yourself. And like I have to tell my kids that too, like, because for them, like my son likes to go play Minecraft and stuff. I'm like, dude, I think it's fascinating, the building aspect and all that stuff, but you also still have to do other stuff. And I'm like, you could totally do this. Like, he's good at art. You could totally do this. Like, I want to say, like, I'm not of that generation that's like, no, you have to do this. Like, you could do anything now. And like, all you have to do is just push it. You have to give it more than the next guy. Like, so you guys are doing that. Anyways, we're gonna jump all the way back.
Bikes.
All the way back to bikes.
We got
something coming in. Oh, what the hell?
What's happening here?
Oh no! Did you guys bring out the bomb?
Oh
you
no!
Sons of bitches! What is this? Oh man!
Peanut butter. What's the peanut butter for?
Oh man! Okay, we're going real downhill real fast.
Well,
grazie.
Okay, well this
is going. You guys.
Is this non-dairy milk here?
Yeah. Is this vegan organic? I love the towels too. Oh, you guys are killing me. If we're gonna do it, we got to go. This is gonna be about a minute trip. I can assure you.
Do you want?
Well.
We're fine.
Oh yeah, probably good.
Oh, tissues?
No, I'll just wipe it on my hands.
Yeah, we're gonna need tissues for sure. Ladies and gentlemen in chat, you guys are probably getting the greatest mountain bike live stream of all time tonight.
Oh, right here. Oh, I got towels here.
Oh,
you got a towel right there too.
It stinks. Okay, here you go.
Okay, I got it.
You need wet wipes there.
Yeah. Oh, we got towels. I'll blow my nose in the towel. It's fine. Everything's fine. Oh my God. You see what happens when I hire producers? God, it costs me a lot of money too and a lot of pain.
Oh, jeez.
Has anybody in chat guessed who the producer is, by the way? You guys probably figured it out. But we'll reveal it later if we need to.
Oh, I probably shouldn't say anything.
I just dubbed it down here. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
All right, let's see.
So,
It's Nate Hills.
It's Nate Hills. Nate Hills is here tonight.
Exactly.
Somebody once asked, like, hey, like I was taking requests for like guests, and you were of course #1 on the list for like who I should have on this, right?
Thank you.
And so then like somebody was like, oh, what about Seth? I'm like, are you kidding me? That guy would never come to my house and be on my live stream. You're like, she'd be like, no, you idiot. Anyways,
I'm gonna
here
put
we
this
are.
down.
Seabass, how much have you put on that?
I just put a big dab. I'm gonna dip it.
I put about like
Yeah,
half, about exactly half.
We're gonna go full dip. We're gonna go full dip here.
There's no stuff already on this steak, is there?
No. So just to be clear, everyone, we are about to dive into the bomb hot sauce for no other reason than the fact that I casually mentioned it in conversation.
Why'd you do that?
And what we've got here is we've got a bowl of peanut butter. If we cut to camera 1, I assume we're on camera 1. We've got a bowl of peanut butter, just in case. And then we've got a glass of milk right here, full vitamin D milk.
Right?
Oh yeah, he's got a whole tub of it. Cool, perfect. All right.
Because I'm a fatty, I'm gonna.
God, what are we doing? Hopefully you guys are having a good time in chat. I'm gonna catch up with chat, by the way. In he's already eating
I love peanut butter. Peanut butter is one of my favorite things ever.
Okay. All right, here we go.
All right.
How deep? We're just gonna go big time, aren't we?
Screw it.
Oh my God. This is not gonna be fun, dude. I'm gonna get the hiccups.
Cheers.
I'm gonna get the hiccups. I guarantee it. Oh God, I'm already not looking forward to this. Fucking hell.
Oh my God, it's already hitting.
Ah. Oh no. Oh no.
Sorry if you can hear me chewing.
I'm gonna spit
very
this out.
loudly.
Oh no. This is aw-
Is that a bad idea?
I'm going in for seconds. Screw it.
Oh no.
Call the guy that brought smelling salts.
Oh, I told you.
Just make it hotter.
Oh
You know,
no.
the saving grace is your steak, dude.
This sucks.
Oh, he's getting the hiccup.
It's right in the throat. Ah. I don't know how I put the hot sauce right in my throat.
Holy moly.
It didn't even touch my teeth.
Peanut butter. Hold on. I know what to do for this.
It didn't even touch my teeth.
The only way to solve this problem.
Smell some more.
The only way.
Ah. Oh no. Ah.
Wait, that wasn't good enough.
Ah. Whose idea was this? Oh, God.
Just cut.
The pain is coming from everywhere.
I'm just gonna put peanut butter right on my butthole to solve this problem right out of the gate. Ah. God, I don't know how that happened.
Woo! Okay, here we go.
Like the hot sauce didn't even touch my tongue. No. No. Oh. This is a terrible idea. If anybody in chat encouraged this and asked for it, I don't appreciate you right now. Oh.
So you guys wanted to know where I would want to ride my bike?
Yeah, that's it. Where's
Where I wanna go?
destination? Yeah. Where's the dream? Tell me about the dream.
Dream place.
Right.
Hold on, I don't have enough hot sauce in my system.
Ah.
You going for more?
I'm gonna gargle the milk. Hold on.
Come on, Joe. Round 3. Let's go.
No, settling down now. It's about a minute and a half ride. Oh.
That's actually really good hot sauce. It's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. What is this stuff?
Good for you.
It was
for
good. It's really hot.
Mm.
That is messed up.
They went right to my throat.
Yeah. It's that initial kick. It's like, what is this? All of a sudden.
If you've just joined us, you've come into a mountain bike stream. I assure you. Cut to camera 2.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah, we're good. Everything's fine.
I got to compliment you on your steak, man. The steak is fantastic.
No more.
That's what's carrying me through here.
Okay. Where is that your dream destination for 2023?
All right. I would love to go to Kamloops and ride the Kamloops Bike Ranch.
Okay.
And specifically ride a trail called Fistful of Dollars. That trail, Jordan Boostmaster, I don't know if you know him.
Oh, yeah.
He's on YouTube. He put a video out. Hold on one second on this.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Oh, this better be a donation. Jesus Christ.
That is gnarly.
Anybody in chat better not have encouraged that. Like, hello. I'm going to get stabbed one of these days and overreact. Oh, God. Yeah, Jeremy says, now hit the salt. He took care of it. He did it. I'm not doing the salt anymore. This isn't a...
Fine, if I must.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Oh! Take that away from me, dude. Take that away. I'm going to keep hitting it.
Kyle, by the way, who has been in this house many times, says it's a good thing Joe has a bidet.
I was just going to say anything to take away my inner pain away.
Oh, my God. I think I just got flashbacks to the old sipping salts. I like smelled the chlorine from here. That's brutal.
Well, I teared up that time.
Oh, my tongue is still on fire, and we've completely derailed everything that was happening here.
We were talking about bikes.
Yeah, we were talking about bikes.
We did what he said. Another sniff.
Yeah.
Kamloops, Jordan Boostmaster.
Yeah.
Love his videos. Huge
Yeah.
shout out to him. He makes amazing videos.
Yep.
His video of him riding and progressing through Fistful of Dollars,
Yeah.
because it's a big gap jump trail. There's I'm pretty sure there's a point where you jump over like a little hut of some kind. Just as big as your ice cream truck over here.
Yeah. That's top secret. That's top secret.
Top secret. Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said anything. But that trail is just sculpted perfectly, and just seeing someone like Jordan hitting it, and it just made me want to ride it so bad. So that's at the very tippy top of my list, places that I want to try and go and at least attempt to ride it. But
Is that Boostmaster?
Sweet.
Boostmaster, yeah.
Kamloops.
Wow, that's really spicy.
Oh my God. Yeah.
My face is and my body's in pain right now.
No,
big
I'm gonna
time.
take a moment to just throw some. Oh God, what have I done here? Everything's fine. Everything's under control.
I'm playing it cool with the hot sauce, but the hot sauce is really miserable.
It's brutally hot. I don't even know how it's possible to completely bypass any other part of my mouth other than right in the throat. That's probably not appropriate if taken in the wrong context. Like if somebody had just joined in and I said that, they might have been questioning their choice on live stream tonight.
Some more milk. I've had milk for like 10 years.
I don't drink a ton of milk
I forgot
either.
how good it tasted.
Oh, I don't drink a ton of milk either.
Very good.
So you got a chance to work with, you got a chance to hang out with Outside Brendan recently.
Yeah.
The most analytical mind in mountain biking, as far as I'm concerned. Like I
love
love
that
all
guy.
his weird ideas. Like how cool was it to hang out with him?
He's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting because he's just now starting to show himself a little bit more in the videos
exactly,
and talk
yeah.
a little bit more.
Yep.
So, like, how he is in videos
Yeah.
is very similar to how he is in person too. Because at the end of the day, a lot of us, are different in person versus
Yeah.
on videos,
Yep.
right? Like, what's up, YouTube?
Yeah.
That kind of, whatever. But he's a very genuine guy. Love doing videos with him, like just bouncing ideas off of him, man. He's just always thinking about something, always in a good mood. It's amazing. He's a great guy.
I can't believe it. Like I go watch his videos and like it's just like every time like how did he come up with that? Like
Yeah.
it's great. Like I love that style of mine. It operates differently but similar to ours, right? The idea of like I can come up with this thing and I can make a thing and he just does it. You're like, oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Like Lego pedals and all this stuff. It's like amazing. We were talking with my producer and I were watching his video recently where he put the camera inside the tire. And it was like, has
That was
anybody
so cool.
ever done that? And
Yeah.
like immediately when it went up, it was like 1 million views
Oh, yeah.
instantaneously.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, it just hits that button of fascination. It's
Yeah.
like so cool to watch it.
He really thinks about each one of his videos before he does them.
Yeah.
Like he really puts thought into
Yeah.
them. And that's something that's kind of, anybody can just make a video and, sometimes they'll get like 1 million views, right? Sometimes they'll totally bomb, but he really thinks about what he
Yeah.
does. And I think it's very noble, and how he approaches, what his whole style is, I think is really cool. Really, really cool. And, I'm sure you saw it. I was cracking up at one of his more recent videos
Yeah.
where he 3D prints the thing on it to put on his tire that says not a bike.
Oh, yeah.
So when you're riding illegal bike trails, it's not a bike track. It's just not a bike. It's
so good.
I urge you guys, anyone who doesn't know who he is, go watch him. Go watch his stuff.
I don't know if he's selling that or not, but he 100% should. I think that'd be
Oh,
brilliant.
I want one. I'm gonna
Yeah.
literally hit him up and ask him for one of them.
Exactly.
Just carry it everywhere I go.
It's like the East Bay Ripper shirt and mountain biking is not a crime. I was like, that's perfect.
Yeah,
I had to
yeah,
order that one. It's
yeah.
like a lot of people hit me up and seeing the videos. They're like, oh, where'd you guys get that shirt? I'm like, East
Yeah.
Bay Rippers. Dude,
Oh, I've
that's
directed
awesome.
like dozens of people to
It's
him.
so good.
I'm like,
It's so good. So we were talking
amazing.
about like content creation and videos. Like one of your videos that you did recently was you went and survived in the woods. Like I want behind the scenes on this one because like,
okay, first thing,
Yeah.
it was not fake. Like I wish I faked it because
Yeah.
it was miserable.
yeah,
Like,
it seemed miserable. I was like, I
Oh.
don't think he's prepared for this.
no, I was not prepared at all for it, and it was one of my dumber ideas.
Yeah.
Just because it was not very safe to do that.
Yeah.
Just the fact I really did go into the woods. Like,
Yeah.
I'm from Marin County originally, and we have tons of open space out there.
Yeah.
And so pretty much pulled up to an area that like I kind of knew the area, right? I knew like if something really went wrong, I knew kind of which direction to
Yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah.
Like
Yep.
if something really badly happened. But in general, it was really just my brother and our partner like just dropped me off
Yeah.
and was like, all right, see you later.
Where'd you go? You went up with like a flashlight, some snack bars?
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Like, what?
I mean, I had my backpack, which had camera gear,
Yeah.
and I had lights and stuff because I wouldn't be able to film
Sure,
anything if I
sure.
didn't have lights. But it was literally just I had 2 Cliff bars, or power bars, or whatever they were. I don't want to give any shout outs to anybody,
Sure,
but
sure.
it was 2 power bars of some kind. And then a bottle of water, and I had a pocket knife, and that was it. Like, that was, of the things that were useful to me, that was like it.
My immediate thought was like bring a small hatchet and like
No,
all
I
that stuff.
didn't-
Be like,
no.
I'll bring a pocket knife.
Like
yeah.
tiny little knife, like, like that big. And I just took off, and it kind of, we didn't really plan it through very well because my original idea was go on a night where it's clear and I can see the stars
Yeah.
and I'll be able to navigate a little better. Lo and behold, the night that we do that, it's like misty. I only have like 50, 60 feet of visibility because of all the fog.
Yeah.
And it starts raining on me, and it's cold and it's windy. And I'm like, it was just an awful
Because
experience.
you didn't even bring a tent or anything.
No, nothing. I didn't bring anything.
It's just
Literally didn't bring in a single thing. And so that was, I do not suggest it to anybody,
No.
you know. And the main thing that stuck to me is like, the idea behind it was what happens if you're on a bike ride, and we all have that thought, like it's getting late and, oh, I got to get home. Like what happens if you just don't make it home?
Yeah.
You know? So what do you do at night? You know, you're stuck out there in the woods. So
My
I was trying to
next-
simulate what would happen.
The way my brain goes now is the next likely video that should be made is like how to turn your bike into a structure, like how to turn your bike into somewhere
Yeah.
you could sleep in. Like how do you get this? I was like, oh, brilliant.
Well, I had a bunch of ideas for like, I'm gonna build a little den.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find like these cool sticks. I'm gonna try to build a little hut thing.
Yeah.
The moment I got out there,
Yeah, you're like, no.
I was terrified. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I can't. I'm just gonna find a spot, leave my lights on all night, and
Yeah.
just stand there, just looking across like the horizon, like trying to find like animals.
Did you doze off at all? Or did you sleep at all?
Not at all.
Nah,
I
of
like
course
closed my eyes at certain points,
Yeah.
but I couldn't close my eyes for more than like a couple minutes because you'd hear a noise, right? And then you're like, what was that?
gonna
Like
die.
you get a flashlight over there,
Yeah.
and then your adrenaline's jump in, and you're like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? And at a certain point, you know, towards the morning, once I was starting to get out there, something freaking growled at me, and I didn't know what it was. I didn't know where
Yeah.
it came from, so I'm like sitting there, and it was like a menacing growl too. So I didn't know what it was. I'm like, this could be like a deer, or it could be like a full-on like giant animal,
Yeah.
or like some Sasquatch, or
Yeah.
like a ghost or something coming after me. I don't know. Like I was freaking out at that point. At the
Yeah.
adrenaline that I had going, it could have been anything. Anything could have made me jump and
Oh,
just
God.
run out in the middle of nowhere. And it was I don't suggest it. Like I said, I don't suggest doing anything like that.
Dude, I was sleeping out in Everstoke when we were building out there, and like, and once Brian got all the game cameras mounted, I was like, cool. Like,
Yeah.
we ended up like I slept out there, whatever. Like one day, like a couple weeks later, he's like, show me some game cam footage. I'm
Yeah.
like, I looked at the date, and I'm like, wait a minute, there was a giant mountain lion, like not like a couple hundred feet from where I was
Wow.
sleeping. And so I mentioned it to Aaron, who stays out there, and he usually keeps a handgun on him. And I was like, Aaron, what happens if a bear drags me out of my tent? He's like, oh, just scream, I'll wake up. I was like, you're not gonna wake up. He's like snoring super loud inside of his camper van. I'm like, oh, that thing's already dragged me outside. He's just gonna come out here and save my life. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's always a worry for sure. You know, and I kept on seeing stuff like we don't really like officially we don't have bears where
Yeah.
I'm from, but I kept seeing like poop on the ground
Yeah.
that looked a lot like bear poop.
Yeah.
And it's just the thought comes in your mind like, holy shit, are there actually bears out here?
Yeah.
You know, because there's been bear sightings where I'm from, like, and that's far away from the Sierra, so it's a little bit rare.
Yeah.
But it does happen. So it's like, oh crap, is there like a bear out here right now? Like, am I gonna be sleeping and all of a sudden it's just a big woolly thing coming at me? Like, it's just like,
Dude, a part of me expected like the end of the video, like that you were gonna like kind of wake up and there was gonna be just like hikers walking by, like you were right on a major thoroughfare or something, like just wandering through. Then it turns out you're on a major trail, like just runners coming by.
no, I was
so
kind of
funny.
hoping that would happen, but it just didn't. I was so
Yeah.
far out there that I got there right before the sun went down, and I left right as the sun came up. So there was like, even if there was going to be a hiker, I probably wouldn't have ran into because it's far out there.
Yeah.
Like it took me from where I was camping to get back to the car. It took me like hour and a half
I
roughly.
feel like you should use quotes on the term camping, by the way, like
yeah.
like sleeping outside.
Just found a little nice, not so hard spot on the ground.
Oh my God.
Just made it work.
Yeah. Dude, some of the videos you made, by the way, as a side note, like I think of the one where you did where like you had no tire and you're just right on the rim and seeing if you could break it. Like,
Oh yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
how did that go? Like,
Yeah, that was, it's interesting because after the fact, like I used a DT Swiss wheel.
Yeah.
And they were like, dude, come over at CR. Like, come over.
Yeah.
They're like super stoked about it. And I thought they were going to get really mad at me,
Yeah.
but they were really stoked on it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. You know, but yeah, it's surprisingly very hard to break wheels. Like I thought for me, I was like, oh, I'm a big dude, everything. And it all day. And it finally, after just impact after impact, it just like weakened enough to where it snapped. So that blew my mind. I was like, wow, wheels are a lot stronger than I thought they were.
yeah, I was impressed. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen somebody else put like a wheel to the test like that recently, and I was like, wow, like, yeah, I wouldn't even imagine that it would just take
Yeah.
that sort of punishment. Now, here's the next idea for the video, right? Is like carbon versus aluminum, you know, and see which one
Yeah.
withstands without a wheel longer.
But are we willing to break a carbon wheel though?
I mean, if they send it to you for free,
That's a good point, actually. That's a very good point.
but I don't know if any company would have the balls to do it, because if the
Yeah.
aluminum one stands up more, it's like, uh-oh,
I know it's a
that
tricky
one was $1,000, this one was $20.
There's limitations
Yeah.
for sponsors right there.
I know.
That's-
Not a sponsor's dream, this guy right here.
Oh,
Not a
you can do it.
sponsor's
Do
dream.
it. Do it. Yeah, you're good to-
exactly.
You're good to go. You got a couple weeks left, right?
I spent several opportunities just making fun of the cubby hole on bikes, which Specialized is very good about putting cubby holes on bikes. I was like, this is the major mountain bike innovation that's happened in the last couple of years. They're like,
Yeah.
I had an idea for a video, and I might have said this before, but like the idea is like, it's some guy in a lab coat, and it's like 1967 or whatever. Like I looked up the year the first carbon frame came out, or that year, right?
Yeah.
80 something, like across the bottom of the screen. It would be like, look, I've created the ultimate technology for mountain biking: carbon frames,
Wow.
increased lighter weight, you know, all those like stats. And you'd be like, everybody's like standing ovation, and then it cuts to like 2020, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's like cuts to a boardroom. The guy's like in a Hawaiian shirt, like,
Oh, that was-
I got a great idea, cubby holes on the bikes.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just like, that's it. It's like, oh god. So
You got to do it. You got to do it, man.
I know. Let's burn some bridges.
Ah,
It's fine.
It would be. But it's better to ask for forgiveness than it is to ask for permission.
100%. What are they going to say? That's the best part. We can make whatever we want to make.
Life advice right there for all you
best
kids
part.
watching.
It's the best part. So how many bikes do you have now? I think we talked about it on an Instagram live stream. I think you got 4 Specialized,
4
right?
or 5 million bikes, actually.
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
Yeah. At this point, actually, you know, I supply bikes to Specialized.
Yeah.
And all the dealers. So that's really where I'm at with it right now. Yeah.
I'm lucky enough to get one. I've been rocking that Yeti since like 2018, and I finally, like, Rebel was rad enough. I talked to Adam, the CEO, super cool company.
Adam's so cool.
He sent me this bike. I got a first ride on it last week with Jay, and it
Yeah.
was incredible. It was
Yeah.
like, felt really good. I'm surprised I didn't crash the thing yet. And man, I want to get more time on it. I'm supposed to go out and ride Auburn tomorrow, but I got to text Brian. I'm like, dude, I'm not in shape enough to hang out with you guys. Like, he's just going to dominate with his 6-pack, making me look bad. You know, I don't appreciate it.
You got to get on an e-bike.
He has that Ibis Oso, which,
Ah.
by the way, when we rode Auburn, we saw some older guy on an Oso or whatever. Like, sick, man, like, cool. Like, it's several times I've been out in Auburn where I've seen like somebody probably 70s, maybe around that range, crushing it on an e-bike. And I'm like, how cool is that?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I'm not saying only old people should ride e-bikes. as a side divergent.
Fat people too. Fat people.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
We got to
As-
include everybody here.
As
okay?
a side note on this, we talk about the idea of like not offending people. Like the e-bike community is one that we can all offend. Like it's great because like it's non-binary, if you will. Like I can make fun of people that are against e-bikes, and I can make fun of people that ride e-bikes, and it's like it's just the same. Right? Like isn't it the timeless territory? Have you not made fun of them enough yet?
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always room to make fun of something.
Yeah,
There always is.
I mean, jokingly, of course, but it's like e-bikes, like it's fair game.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in a weird spot because I went on my first e-bike ride today.
You've never been on an e-bike before?
No, I've been on e-bikes, but I'm like first like one that's actually my own bike.
Oh.
So I'm like, oh, that's a sneak peek. I probably shouldn't have said that.
Oh,
but
well, yeah, you
they're-
got the
I
world
forgot we're on
exclusive
camera
right here,
here.
ladies and gentlemen. World exclusive.
No, I love e-bikes. I freaking love them. They're amazing.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And
And
I will gladly make fun of myself for being
I
on
know.
an
I'm
e-bike.
like that's the funniest thing because I like them too. And it's like we'll do like a I would say yearly pilgrimage to Downeyville. We'll go rent e-bikes from Downeyville Outfitters, and we'll just go backcountry adventure. And it's like the
Yeah.
coolest thing to me. Like that's one of the most advantageous things. Like obviously the idea of like why did I get smelling salt? Yeah, there's like flashbacks. Obviously, like just like say bike parks for example. One of the things that was brought up is like why have gondola lifts and all that stuff if you can just make a smaller park? You could just have an e-bike accessible like Burn Park and Peak and all that
Yeah.
stuff, right? And then you could just ride up instead of having it like full on. Wait a minute. Oh,
You
there
got
it
a
is.
distraction here.
Okay, here we go. Oh God, Bike Sum has a question. Hey, Bike
Oh.
Sum.
Oh God.
He says, "What's the most technical trail either of you have ever ridden? What made it memorable?"
I'll let you go first on this one.
Wait, most technical trail I've ever ridden. Okay. All right. First things first. As we prepare this question, we're also going to have to get ready for s'mores time. So we're going to start unveiling those. You guys will be able to come in for this too. My producer will know the name of this trail, but I think the most technical trail I rode was in Whistler. Like maybe that's cheating, but it is. Like I started riding the double blacks on like day 3, and there was a couple of them. One was like Dr. something. In Whistler, there was Dr.
Drop-in clinic?
Drop-in Clinic was very technical. There was another one you sent me down that I went over the bars on for sure. Drop-in Clinic, was it before Drop-in Clinic? I thought there was one called Dr. something. Maybe I'm wrong.
There was the
I pay-
manager, which you kept telling me that you rode, and I'm like, no, you didn't.
No, that's not it. By the way, I paid him a lot of money, and look, this is what I get. He doesn't even know what trail I rode. He's supposed to have notes of all these things.
And
No,
he
I
gives
don't
you
know.
sass too.
Drop-in Clinic was really good.
I gave you a medical-based trail. Like, I don't think there's any trail called Dr. something.
My producer gave me like a really elaborate set of trails. He was so studious on like all the things I should ride in Whistler. And then I'd come home and he'd like, what did you ride? I'm like, I don't remember. Like, but I rode all the things he told me to ride. But Drop-in Clinic was pretty incredible. I think all the double black stuff I rode in Whistler was
Nice.
extremely challenging.
Yeah, that's hard. Yeah.
Some of the stuff that I rode, like I probably shouldn't have ridden by myself, like because it was just like the other 2 days I was with a group, and like
Okay.
that day I was like, let me go experiment, and so I took it really easy on some of the stuff. Some of the stuff I was just going through, but it was like brutally hard.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
And the North Shore stuff was unlike anything I've ever seen. Like that's one thing, we don't have skinnies, we don't have all this gnarly stuff. Like we don't have anything like that here, really.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing on that level. And so when like Van Can and Dangerous Dave were showing me around the North Shore, geez, man, like it was something else. Like
North Shore is a wild, dude. That's the Wild West for mountain biking out there.
Yeah.
It is so bizarre. Like you got some trails that are just slabs on slabs, and then you
Yeah.
got some that are wood, and then some that are flowy, and then
Yep.
some that are just all of the above. It's one of the wildest places I've ever ridden. Is North
I
Shore.
almost can't believe it exists. It's like this is
Yeah.
wild. It's like it's allowed. It's here.
Yeah, the fact that it's there is just blows my mind. It's like how is this allowed?
It almost feels like an illegal Disneyland, but all
Yeah.
those trails are illegal, right? Like
I don't know actually. I just know they've been
man.
there for a very long time, and they're
They've-
probably going to be there for a very long time for moving forward.
those guys film all there all the time, so I have to assume it's pretty reasonable. Like because we
Yeah.
rode it, and there was a bunch of people out there, but it's like,
Yeah.
man, imagine riding there all the time. Of course, you're gonna be a world class athlete. You know, it's
Yeah,
like insane.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
insane.
It makes sense. What is going on?
Oh, look at this, guys. Look at this. Yes.
Oh, is it more spicy food? Oh, it's
No, we're
it's
s'mores. It's s'mores
I was like, I'm all
time.
spicied out.
It's the exact opposite of that.
Ooh.
Hey.
I don't know if you guys can see that. That is fantastic. What is going on here? You got another rag here. Nice.
Beautiful.
And a
Beautiful.
thing too. Fantastic. Joe, I will pass this on to you.
Yes.
Good sir.
Oh yeah. All right.
I think he's.
Wait, is
I
that
think
our
he's bringing
sticks?
one to you. Yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect. And you
Wow.
guys can get in on some s'mores action too. Oh God! Ah, I knew I was gonna get stabbed tonight. Holy crap! What did she buy? All right, here we go. We're gonna do a double tap.
Oh, now you got two.
I know. I'm smart.
Yeah, man, the North Shore is amazing up there. Canada just continually blows my mind as far as, you know, how the riding is up there. And I'll be clear, I haven't been there in a few years, but
Yeah.
I'll get back there soon enough.
So my wife is smart. She put Reese's peanut butter cups on here too.
I noticed that.
So you could do that.
Yes.
And there's white
Very
chocolate.
nice.
Oh, and I'm gonna take one of these too. Oh yeah, we're getting into it now.
Ooh, yes.
This is kind of the best part of the show right here.
Wow.
Wine and dine. Wine and dine. What about you? Like technical trails?
So I would say the true most difficult trails I've ever ridden are all like some local cutty trails, which I probably shouldn't say the name of.
Yeah, probably don't.
On, on air, but as far as like the sketchiest place I've ever ridden, it's got. I mean, Whistler's definitely up there for sure.
Yeah.
I would say some spots in Europe that I've ridden as well, but the first thing that comes to my mind is Silver Mountain in Idaho, in North Idaho, near Coeur d'Alene. That place is terrifying. Every single trail there, even the ones that are quote flowy trails, they're all very scary.
Wow.
Like everything's just way bigger. Like they're like, it's like, oh, a blue square trail. You're like, oh, I can do this, no problem. You get on it, you're like, wait, the lip is here. Where's the landing? It's all the way over. Oh my Lord! Like you're just losing it, right? And, and there's no easy trails there, which is the craziest part. And on top of that, it takes you like an hour to get down the mountain. Like it's not just like you go to North Star or like Whistler where you do like lap after lap. It's like you do 1 or 2 laps probably the whole day.
Yeah.
Because it takes you so long to get down the mountain. You're doing really like this backcountry type stuff. And I would say that place is probably at the top of my list of most terrifying places, but also one of the most fun places.
In Idaho, huh?
Yeah, Idaho.
I wouldn't
love
have
Idaho.
guessed. How did you get into traveling so much for riding? But I made a fatal error, by the way. I forgot to grab crackers.
Oh yeah, good point actually. How do I get it? Well, the thing is, like a lot of these stories I'm telling you are like take place over like 15 years of my life.
Sure.
So it's like accumulation of, you know, like the Idaho trip, that was like 6 months ago I was on that. Right. So that was fairly recent. Cool. But like going to Europe, that was when I was a kid, you know, being up in Whistler. I've been a Whistler for like, it's been like 10 years maybe. You know, maybe under 10 years. You know, the last time we went into Canada, it was a little scary. They searched us, so they took our bikes apart and like
God, those rectal exams they hurt.
The Canadian Border Patrol is kind of gnarly. Like what the hell,
they
guys?
use maple syrup as lube, dude. It hurts.
Like it's just Canada. Like it's like, geez, there's only so much maple syrup you guys can like export.
I know. Guy chased me on a horse. It was crazy.
But no, I love Canada. It's an amazing place. You know, Idaho, North Idaho area, like just Idaho in general. Like shout out to Kyle and April out there, Braden Bringhurst as well.
Are they in Idaho?
Amazing. Yeah, they're in Boise.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And Braden, your video was amazing, by the way. I don't know if you're listening to this, but amazing video. If you guys haven't seen that, go watch it. It's on YouTube. Just type in Braden Bringhurst, and you'll see the first video that pops up. It's amazing.
Once again, I will assure you he is not watching my live stream. Hey, Kat.
Yeah. One of the coolest bike videos I've seen in the last like 15 years. It's amazing.
He climbed whole enchilada. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just the whole story behind it. I'm not going to spoil anything. Go watch it.
I will watch it.
It's amazing.
Just like I said, I would watch Free Solo, and I have yet to watch that.
Ooh.
You're dead to me.
Is that the one with Alex Honnold in it?
Huh?
Is that with Alex Honnold in it?
I don't know.
Don't play dumb.
That's I know. Well, I know he's a
winning documentary.
It's
no.
about
Okay,
climbing
I'm
a mountain.
sorry. No, but that is Alex Honnold, right? Because he's the free solo guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't play dumb. I should have mic'd him up. There it is.
Like 18 times.
Oh, I gotta watch it now.
Yeah, let's go.
Right now, okay, guys. Enough with the podcast. We're gonna watch
in case
it.
you can't hear my producer, he says he has watched Free Solo 18 times. Wait, we got a note. Wait, which side is? Where am I going to get stabbed at today? Oh, wait, Jesus. All right, here we go. This is how it's delivered, ladies and gentlemen. Trail features. Pro Move, $5 donation. He says 2 sticks and 1 marshmallow so it doesn't spin, slide when it melts. Pro Move. I love it.
Thank you. I did
love
not. This is out of pure like. I didn't think about this at all, so thank you. Apparently my genius resides even when I'm not even thinking about it. So,
My God.
I haven't had a marshmallow in it's got to be like 10 years at this point.
My
this
God.
is amazing.
It was incredible. The classic's the best. Hershey's, marshmallow, crispy crackers.
Yeah.
And the trick is, you got to get the crackers, like if you open them and a day goes by, it's no good. They're mushy. You got to freshly open them. They got to be ready to rock. They got to be crispitude.
100%.
Maximum crispitude.
So Joe, I got to ask you.
Yeah.
I know we asked me at the beginning of this show. What is your favorite place you've ridden? Like the best place, the most memorable place you've ever been?
It's funny you say that. I was talking with Steve from Chasing Epic the other day, actually. Those guys run an incredible business, really cool idea. So the premise is, it's just all expense. You pay the money, they work with local guides, you show up, everything's covered, all you do is ride all day.
Oh, wow.
And you'll go ride for 7 days straight or whatever it is in world-class destinations. So one of those trips ended up being one of the BKC Brian trips to Crested Butte. And that place blew my mind, man. Like, again, I still was like, I'm still not a great rider, right? But at the time, like, I had ridden a bunch of local stuff. I had traveled to a couple small places, but I'd never been guided around a place that's just world-class. And so going out there at the perfect time of year, when all the aspen trees are turning yellow, the scenery is unbelievable. Like, hauling ass down like 401 out in Crested Butte into this like, basically like green valley tucked into the mountains. Like, it wasn't the gnarliest trail in the world, but it was unbelievably beautiful. Like, then riding like stuff like Doctor's Park, which was just like, to me, that trip was like something really special. Like, it kind of like, it woke me up to a lot of different styles of riding. And it was also really cool because I did a big trip. I called it the Calirado Kid's Grand Return to Colorado. And so that was the first time I rode with Shane, the Crashing Dad. We rode in Grand Junction with Shane and Outdoor Gold, RC. I love RC if he's here. He was here earlier. RC is one of my favorite people in the world. But they showed me around there, and it was like, that stuff was even mind-blowing for me because I came up here, like, a lot of stuff we have here is not technical. And so coming into Grand Junction, it's kind of like Utah Moab style riding to a certain degree. It's a lot of rock, right? On that side of Colorado. So I hit that. I ended up hitting like Buena Vista, Salida, Fruta, all these places along the way until I finally got to this trip. And that was really nice because I was able to like really increase my skill a little bit and my acclimation to the altitude. So we finally got on this trip. Like, I put myself in like the basic category. So they're basically like, they say like, hey, how would you rate yourself as a rider? Because they break them up into like 2 groups just to like make sure everybody can keep up. And so the first day we did this big ride, and like at the end of the day, the owner of the businesses and the guides were like, you should go to the advanced group. I was like, what? He's like, you should go to the advanced group. And I was like, I don't know about that, man. It's okay, I'll stay right here. So the next day we rode, and then like, I was getting better, you know, like getting just like, and I think a lot of that had to do with the riding I did the days previous. Like I was acclimated, I was like feeling really good on the bike. And so we were just hauling ass, and it was like the funnest thing in the world. Like, and so the second day, same thing, they're like, you need to go to the advanced group. And I was like, just hearing that was really cool. And then not only that, but like during the course of that trip, because the last time Brian and I rode, here comes the cat.
Kitty cat.
Yeah. So during the course of that trip, the last time I rode with Brian was in Nevada City, and I was like, I had to take a break on the downhill. It was embarrassing. Like, not like embarrassing in that regard, but I didn't realize like how bad of a rider I was at the time. And he was having a blast. Like, we had fun, but like I look back and I was like, dude, who takes a break? Like, it wasn't that, like, I was just like wildly out of shape. So when I came into like that, I bet Brian was like, dude, I don't know if you should come, you know. But when I came out there, I was just holding my own, man. I was just hauling ass. I was riding everything. I was at the front of the pack, and it was like, to me, that experience was really cool. It was like, not vindication, because I wasn't looking for anybody's approval. But it was like this tremendous moment of self-improvement, you know, like, coming in and riding some of the incredible trails. I remember one day we did Monarch Pass, and the guide, I was like, all right, I'll roll right behind you. And it was the funnest time in the world, because like he kept going, and he was like, I kept hearing you whoop, so I kept going faster. I was like, we left everybody in the dust. So it was just insane. It was like, it was that like, almost like you let off the brakes, you know? And we don't get to ride like that all the time. Like, and like, especially like, it takes a certain level of consistency on the bike. Because like now I go to work all day, I do the kids, like I'll get a night ride in, but I'm not riding hardcore then. Like, and like it's hard for me to even ride on the weekends because I'm filming stuff. So it's like my riding's so inconsistent, but at that time it was like, man, that sheer, like almost riding incredible stuff every day, like I felt so good. And it was just, the scenery was beautiful. So Crested Butte, everybody should ride it. It's insane. And like that's something like I would love to reach out to Steve if we could organize like a creator group. It might be worth doing because everything would be covered. They'd have local guides to take care of it. Like Chasing Epic's incredible. I would rather do it that way than like try to organize it ourselves. Like, and maybe it's something that we put on the table. Like,
well, I'll tell you what,
people.
I've never been to Colorado before.
Oh, dude.
That was a good catch right there. I've never been to Colorado before. Never set foot in the state.
Insane.
So I'd love to get out there. And going back to with your when you're riding with people of that caliber, like Brian or that crew or anybody else who's in that upper echelon of rideability, skill level, whatever it might be, if you're a pro or whatnot, like there is a very clear difference. Like this is one of the things I'll tell people a lot is like when you meet a pro, right, or when you ride with a pro racer or somebody who's like really, really good, like it changes your perspective on what you can do on a bike. Like riding, I don't consider myself a good rider. There's so many people out there that are just absolutely amazing, right? But when you're riding with your buddies and at the hometown trails or whatever, it's like, everyone progresses, and it's like, oh, this guy over here, my buddy, known him for a long time. He's like the best rider in our area. He's got the Strava best time down this trail, and then you have like a pro that like races and they come over and demolish that time.
Oh yeah.
like not even on their like full run, like on their practice run, just going for a fun ride. It puts in perspective. That's one of the things is like, you can never put yourself down for that because there are people who are different. Like you'll go to events like Proving Grounds or like Red Bull Rampage, you'll meet the guys that are doing that kind of stuff. And it's like, there is actually something different about them as a person. Like there is something different about the way their brain works, the way that they interact with reality, the way that they perceive danger is vastly different than any of us will ever probably be able to comprehend, unless you're obviously built in that way. So it's like you can never really compare yourself to people of that caliber because it's like you're not the same kind of person. Like, and at the end of the day, it's about fun and games, right? Like you want to you just want to go out there and have fun. You don't want to be the next, unless that's what you want to do. Of course, then go for it, right? If you're that kind of person, go for it by all means. But yeah, that's one thing I've kind of starting to learn over time is like I thought I was an okay rider until I started like meeting a lot of these dudes that are like actually good riders, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I suck on a bike. I am a nobody on a bike.
That's kind of the nice part of what we do though. Like a lot of it is like self-challenge. Like most of this stuff is not like we're competing against. Like I've never raced competitively. We did one race the first time in Prescott, and my buddy Jay was with us, and we did the Whiskey Off-Road, and we were really there for a social media takeover and doing all that stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'll run the race too. Ooh, beer. Thank you, sir.
A beer up.
And so we did this race. And like I didn't take it seriously. For me, I was just out there to survive. Like I was there for content creation. So it was the first race I ever did, and it was like I wasn't there to compete. I didn't care. I was just having fun. So it was like
Oh, thank you.
But a lot of it is
later.
a lot of it is just self. It's just self progression, and that's the funnest part because it's easy to tell. Like when I got to Granite Bay, it's like I couldn't do that rock roll before, and now I can.
In the video that you had recently?
Yeah, I've done that plenty of times now, but I remember going out there and I was like, we were terrified. We're like, no way, somebody would ride this? And now it's like that.
Yeah.
So like that's an immediate, like that's quantifiable. Like you go out there, you're like, I couldn't do it, and now I can.
Yeah.
Like that's a vast improvement over not being able to. So it's interesting, and that self-improvement's always fun, like having that, and like being smart about it. Like,
of course.
A great point brought up by somebody, a good friend of mine, is like people have to know their limits, and the send it mentality is kind of tricky sometimes because it's like you get people in trouble. Like, it's a matter of like doing it responsibly and over time, and like working your way up to it, and like it's tricky.
There's also the aspect. Oh, sorry.
You guys gonna have s'mores? Come on in. But grab a seat. You guys can grab a seat.
They're like, no.
We're not going to go too much longer anyway, so we're just going to in the casual phase. I have extra mics if anybody wants to get mic'd up and whatever.
Come on over.
Yeah.
I was going to say, there's also that aspect that mountain bikes are really good nowadays too.
Oh yeah, they're so good.
And like they're getting better and better as time goes on. Here, you guys want to sit here? So like the confidence that you get from riding nowadays is so much more than it was like 10 years ago. Like back in the day, you only had 26-inch wheels, and like you were lucky if you had a 27, right? Now it's like, here you guys go. You want some more s'mores? But nowadays the bikes are so good that like I'll ride stuff today that I used to ride as a kid, and I thought it was scary. And it's not like I'm a better rider, but I'll hit it now, and it's just like, oh, it's not that hard anymore because the bike I have is like a million times better than the bike I had 5 years ago, or 10 years ago or whatever. It's like, so you have that aspect to it as well. It's like sometimes bikes are even too much confidence boost. Right.
I mean, I started in 2012, and like a 125, 130 bike was more than I could ask for. So
the funny thing is, like Jay always told me, like his start to mountain biking was like his buddy was on a golf course or something, showing you around or something, right? Like,
yeah, he's just jumping tee boxes. I'm like, I didn't know it was possible. Like, that's insane. So now they're 160, 170, like. And we're doing downhill shit on a trail bike.
Yeah, you could really, like, you go to like North Star or something, back 5-10 years ago, all you'd see is downhill bikes.
Yeah.
Now you barely ever see downhill bikes. There's only trail bikes out there. So pretty amazing, like how much technology has
I
gone
know,
into the bike
yeah,
industry
normal
now.
enduro bike's quite capable
Yeah.
of all the stuff that's out there. It's like,
Yeah.
man, it just hauls ass through it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's why, like, whenever someone's like, "Yo, I want to get into biking," like, what kind of bike I should get? I'm like, okay, first of all, don't get anything beyond back from like 2015,
Yeah.
2016. Get
Yep.
just whatever it is, just make sure it's at least 5 years old, like at
Yeah.
least in that time range. Don't get anything older than that, you know, because it's like, dude, the difference between bikes back then to now is just so staggering, so staggering.
There's an arguable point also, like, because I work with Worldwide Cyclery, it's something that Jeff's talked about on his podcast. The idea that, like, you know, mountain bike technology has gone to a point maybe where it's like the normal mountain bikes we ride every day, like the technology limit, we've kind of approached it, you know, where like, so there's small incremental upgrades now, but nothing like, so a lot of the tech innovations are happening maybe on the e-bike side and stuff, right? So it's like, that's an interesting development in the industry too, because like these bikes are amazing. Like, how much better could you make them? You know, and it's not a lot. You know, like incremental stuff, maybe a degree change, but like that's not a lot. Like, what's the major innovation that's going to happen on the e-bike side? You can make it smaller, lighter, more powerful. So you can see why probably, I don't know much about the industry, but they're probably pouring a lot of resources into that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
Yes. Yes,
That's a non-educated, yeah, exactly.
That's the I don't want to say too much answer.
Exactly.
Yes, yes. There's a lot of stuff coming out. So,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like every company's working on some amazing stuff right now. So it's pretty cool where the industry's going for sure. I'm just waiting for the day till where they have, because everything's going electronic nowadays.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the day where they have electronic brakes. Where it's just like a module at the top. It's wirelessly connected down to the caliper.
That scares the shit out of me.
Hey, kind of already is like that in cars. Here, let me give you.
Okay, I'm gonna give him a butt shot real quick. You guys came over to get s'mores. Get
Yeah,
s'mores. You want traditional chocolate or Reese's or what?
Yeah, just use that.
You got it, brother.
Jay, you want this plate over there? Hey, put on the
I
wood
shall
over there.
take one,
Here,
yes.
Okay,
Hand
this
over
is
to Jay.
s'mores hour. We're not going to go too much longer. I don't want to hold these guys over the coals. They got a long drive home. Although I have said if they want to drink a lot and crash, they can. But
Well, I'm already like four beers deep over here.
we'll just smell and salt them up, and they'll send them home. Yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine.
the amount of steak I had earlier, I think I'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Okay.
By the way, if anybody in chat, I'm assuming, has guessed who my producer is, cost me a lot of money to get him down here from the old Canada land. But do you want to make an appearance on the camera real quick? Just to, can I turn the camera around and show everybody?
No.
Oh, he's pushing.
Oh, he's
the
pushing the
buttons.
buttons.
He said no. He said no.
Here, I'll tell you what. When I bring you the s'more, we'll switch places.
God, he said no.
You should give it away properly.
Wow.
It's a proper.
Wow. Well, here we are, man. It's excited to have you guys up here. I know you had a long drive, and I'm stoked you made it up.
Oh, it's a breeze in the air. Not a big deal at all. It's good to be here. It's good to finally get on here. I think what you're doing, Joe, is a fucking amazing. Oh, I don't know if I should swear, but it's amazing. I don't know. I've been holding myself back. Sorry, guys. Sorry for all the kids out there watching.
That's all good.
But yeah, I think what you're doing is amazing, and dude, keep crushing it. Keep crushing it.
I think there's a lot of cool stuff to come, man. Like all the stuff we're working on and all those things. Like, it's been fun. It's fun getting into this. It's fun overproducing a live stream. Like, who the hell is doing this? Like, why?
Yeah.
I spent all day getting this ready.
I gotta say, just a shout out to you. Like, I showed up here, I was expecting like a camera.
Yeah.
And he's got, you guys can't see this behind the camera, but he's got like a whole setup. We got lights set up.
He's got 45 cameras.
Yes, it's like
16 angles.
Bro.
It's a lot.
Lights
puts to
too.
shame all of this. I would have just literally set up a camera and called it a day, but I mean, this is apparently how we do things around here.
But it's
so.
kind of, I got a little marshmallow. It's marshmallow on my pants. Trust me, it's marshmallow.
Oh, it's definitely, that's a totally not burned marshmallow too.
But it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things that like I get it in my head and I want to see how far I can take it. And so like as a result, that's kind of what this is like, I don't know. I thought it was a fun idea and I got it in my head and I told Kyle that he was the first guest on the Fireside and I was like, what if we just sat around the fire? And then I was running all the cameras myself and I still will do that, but it's like, uh-oh, what happened? Oh, did I unplug it? Oh, okay. I got marshmallow on everything right now. But it's like, hello? Can you hear me? Uh-oh. What happened? Hold on. I got marshmallow in my hands. You guys talk.
All right, while he's figuring that out, I'll tell you guys
That's
a
fine.
funny story.
I'll fix it.
So, there was this one time I was riding my bike as these stories begin.
Did you want to ride it?
I didn't, I would, I,
You want to ride your
you know what? I
bicycle?
sometimes do actually. Oh, and if you guys don't know, this is my brother Durs. He films everything.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
This is Durs. So there was this one time while Joe is doing that, we have where we live, I don't know if you guys have to deal with this, but we have people who really don't like mountain bikers. So around where we live, and we live in the Northern California, North Bay area, so we have a lot of people who really don't like mountain bikers, and they make it abundantly clear that they don't like mountain bikers. So, you know, we'll have the horse people, you know, most of them are very nice, but there are the few who just really don't like us. So there's this one guy that's in our area. He always hikes the same trails. He's out there with a camera about this big, like the lens is legit like this long. It's amazing. It's like a giant telephoto lens. And he's been doing this for as long as I've been riding my bikes. He will literally hide behind bushes, wait for you to come down the trail, and then snap pictures of you, and supposedly he reports you to the authorities.
What?
Because you're riding trails. And he's been doing this for years, and no one's ever been caught. He just tries to intimidate people.
Whoa.
You know, so there's this one time I'm riding up, and I see him in the bushes.
Yeah.
Right? And so I see him, I'm like, okay, I was on a solo ride, I'm like, I see him there. He's like waiting for me to go on this one trail.
Dude,
yeah, because you can't miss him. He's like this old guy. He can't crouch down. He can barely move, and he's wearing like a full like expedition, you know, camo uniform thing.
Yeah. Like a full ghillie suit.
Bucket hat. He's going on a full-on expedition. It's hilarious. And so he's like hiding behind the bush. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna not go down that trail.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go up this way. So I'm hiking up. This guy comes down, and I'm like, I stop him. He's on a bike also, and I stop him like, hey, if you're gonna go down that way, don't go down that way because the camera guy's in the trail.
The camera guys.
he's like, oh, well, I don't give an F what he thinks. And it, like the biggest balls I've ever seen on a man before, right? And so he's like, screw it. He goes in, rides down the trail.
Wait till you see these. No, okay, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Is my mic working now, Paul?
It's a bit funny now.
Oh, okay.
Mine's a bit funny now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well. Oh yeah, there's still some whiskey left
Oh yeah,
over.
genius. So he's going down the trail.
So
the biggest balls in the world.
He goes down the trail.
The biggest ball.
Yeah, I mean, he can barely sit on his bike seat. That's how big they are, right? So he just goes in, just like nonchalant, just rides by the guy. I see the old man just looks like I just see him pull up his middle finger and just hold it right there and just ride by like nothing. The guy looks so pissed.
Wow.
So that's my little terrible story. It had no punchline or anything, but the point is that if you have a place where you ride bikes and you don't get hassled by people, just consider yourself lucky because the majority of us have a big problem with being able to just ride in places.
See, I come from Napa.
Yeah.
And everyone in Napa is super conservative.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as an illegal trail. You can
Yeah.
ride down whatever the hell you want.
That's nice.
And most people don't care.
That's so nice.
If I go
Oh,
45
man.
Must be nice.
No, 25 minutes like east or west, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually really interesting too, because up in Nevada City, they've got the whole trail system about to go in, and it's all, this is unheard of, sanctioned, dedicated mountain bike downhill trails in Nevada City. Like that just doesn't happen around here. So it's really cool, man. It's like, it's just seeing that stuff is like, it's spreading, people are accepting, and like, just not in the birthplace of mountain biking, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, in Marin County, where we're from, that's the birthplace of mountain
I
biking.
know, exactly.
It's the birthplace, but the worst
clunkers.
place to ride bikes. It's like, what's going on here? Like, we have literally Mount Tam, which is, I don't know if anyone's listening that knows where Mount Tam is, but that's literally where the first ever downhill race, I think, ever was.
Yeah, it was the
On Mount
Clunkers,
Tam.
right?
Yeah, something like that.
That's right. I watched. Did
Yeah.
you guys watch Clunkers?
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen
it's
it.
really
I
cool.
know what it is, but I haven't seen it.
It's really
But
cool.
It's little short end of it. Like, it's just these dudes, like Gary Fisher being one of them. I'm sure you guys have heard of Gary Fisher is. You know, a bunch of other old locals. You know, they're just out there on these brakeless bikes, just hammering down the mountain, no helmets.
Yeah, they're just using their feet to
Just
break
like
them into corners
cruisers
and stuff. Jeans and shirts.
Yeah,
just
it's like the
hauling
coolest
ass.
thing.
Tank
It's so
tops.
cool.
Yeah, and that was on Mount Tam.
Wow.
And today you cannot go to Mount Tam and ride like there's some trails
No.
where like it's kind of okay to, but if you're caught on a single track at Mount Tam, it's like $600 ticket, like
they're-
appearance in court, like all this
Is it
nonsense.
really?
Oh,
Getting
it's so
yelled
bad. It's
at.
so bad.
Oh.
Get yelled at riding down your
bike.
bike.
By hikers and
Yeah,
other
it's
people.
it's really bad.
It's
Yeah.
almost worse than Santa Cruz,
Yeah, Santa Cruz is chill for the most part. Like,
Yeah.
you've got, again, I don't want to say too much of where all the good stuff is.
I
in Santa Cruz.
I'm going to say this. I took a picture near a train track and got eaten alive for it. So I was like, all right.
Really?
Yeah, apparently.
I know exactly what train track you're talking about. You should not have done that, okay? You should know better, okay?
Despite hundreds of people being on the trailhead that day, it was like fucking lines to get into the trails. It
Yeah.
was like, we gotta keep the secret. Like
Yeah.
literally, their helicopters are carrying people out from injuries in Santa Cruz, and it's like, I was like, all right, whatever.
Which is kind of mind blowing because it's like Santa Cruz, obviously some of the best trails in Northern California.
incredible.
I love Santa Cruz. I love the people who dig out there, the riders, everything. But the reason why it's so successful is because there are so few other places where you can do that that everybody gravitates towards Santa Cruz, or they gravitate towards like Pacifica or Auburn or wherever it might be, where there are actual access to trails.
I would almost argue or wonder like how many people get injured riding Santa Cruz versus surfing Santa Cruz.
Good point.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just not a resource we have everywhere, like especially steep stuff like that and things like that. So, hopefully the word spreads, it gets better for everybody. But at the end of the day, it's like, as long as, I think there's a lot, like, especially if you're willing to travel, like if you're willing to go a little distance, there's so many incredible riding spots around the world that it's like, man, get a tank of gas, like go hit Sedona, go hit go hit Arizona, Phoenix, South Mountain, these places, like none of that stuff's super far. There's stuff in SoCal. So it's like, everywhere you live, there's probably a destination within a tank of gas. So it's like, be willing to travel, be willing to experience new trails, meet new people.
Unless you're in the middle of like Iowa.
Yeah.
Then I'm sorry, you're going to have to drive a little further.
Yeah, that sucks. You probably should just move out of Iowa, actually, at that point.
Iowa's great. I have nothing against Iowa. It's just really flat.
No.
Like, there's not really much.
Never been a big fan of Iowa. No, I actually don't know anything about Iowa. Sorry, anybody in chat that's here. Look, yes. I know we're wrapping it up. Pauly's pushing.
Over
I
here.
know. I paid him.
How much are you paying this guy?
$20,000 to sit here for 2 hours, and he's coming up on the 2 hour mark. He knows. just an utter disdained look.
Looking at the data.
I know. It's fine. I know. No, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Look. All right. Anyways. It's been a hell of a time. Glad you guys could all make it out here and hang out.
Thank you for having
Sit by
us.
the fire, drink beers, have some s'mores, eat some steaks, and other than that, any like closing words, anything anybody should know about? Like, they already follow you. Like, I guarantee everybody in chat follows you more than they follow me. So it's like, what are you gonna say?
Well, I would say thank you for your support. Anybody who's out there that's watching the videos and supporting us in whatever way, it's whether it's just watching it, sharing it, who cares, right? If you're out there. If you're on our team, thank you very much. And I think you guys are all very special to us, and we wouldn't be where we are without you guys. And I think that this has really created an opportunity, not just for us, but like in the bike world, to make it less serious about just race, competition, seriousness, all whatever that comes with, to bring it more into like let's just enjoy ourselves, like it doesn't matter if you have the best bike in the world or if you have the fastest lap times. Who cares? Like, we're out with the bros riding, making memories and just having a good time. So thank you guys who support that, that vision, and we're not stopping anytime soon. So
I do have to ask Durs something while he's here, because now he's mic'd up. Is there a prima donna moment behind the scenes for this guy that just
100%.
stands out? Like, I need the top prima donna moment.
Oh yeah.
that's right. You have no filter. I'm not going to whip you.
Yeah, it's fine. No, go for it. Yeah, he won't yell at you.
I got to take my beer in my hand here.
Serious,
Oh, he's got the glasses on. Wait, they're not heat waves, dude. What the hell's going on?
Oh,
here?
yeah.
They're not heat waves.
Idiots. Oh, he's already yelling at you. Jeez.
What is going on here, man?
No, I mean,
You should know better. That's a pay deduction right there.
Yeah.
Seriously.
no, I mean we joke about it all the time, but I don't want to like go into too much detail. But
Too much detail.
Yeah, this is the perfect opportunity. We need an expose right now. I feel like it should go into black and white right now and grainy, like this. Yeah, all right.
I'm trying to think if there's like
Prima donna moment.
a prima donna.
Literally every day we're together doing things.
Yeah.
Does he ever yell at you like,
I
I told
mean-
you over here with the camera? I do that
all
to
the
people
time.
all the time.
I'll
on the
admit
trail.
that all the time. All the time.
I
Yeah.
was like, I mean, since we're brothers, so I mean, it's not like I don't like take it like super seriously.
Sure,
I know
sure,
it's
sure.
like,
How about this? Is there a time where it turns out you were right and he was wrong?
oh yeah,
All the time.
Is there a
Yeah.
time
All
when
the
you were
time.
right and he was
Yeah.
wrong, says Paul?
yeah. Or like the thing that really cracks me up is like he's like he did filming before and stuff, so
Yeah.
I'm like learning from him
Yeah.
a lot of like videography stuff or whatnot, and he'll like go and like show me an angle. He'll be like, all right, you got to be like right here, and I'll be like, okay, and then I'll like go to the spot. He's like, no, like right here, and then he'll be
Knees
like
down.
in that spot, so I'm like, I can't. You're like in the way. Like, what do you want me to do? Like stuff like that. Like stuff
true.
like that. Yeah.
True.
So good. Awesome.
So yeah.
No,
I mean-
I boss him around a lot, but he's
Yeah.
a very big reason why we are where we are. And he's not here right now, but I got my buddy Matt, longtime friend of mine. He's
Sweet.
also part 3. We just brought him on, and he's number 3 for Normal MTB right now. So
Sweet.
he's on helping with videos and stuff. So shout out to you, Matt. I know you're probably going to be watching it, later.
Awesome.
So you're going to get mad at me if I don't mention you. So shout out to Matt.
That's right. Now it's a good opportunity for me to mention all the people that support me.
There we go.
Mom.
Mom, thanks for the. No, I'm just kidding. Thanks
Can't
for
forget wife
my
and
wife.
kids, dude.
Thanks to my wife for putting up with me and helping to organize s'mores. And she puts up with so much crap. She takes the kids when I want to go film. She's like, imagine like having somebody who doesn't support it. Like that would have been so much harder to do what I do. But if I got to go film on a Saturday, she's like, Paul, of course, has been incredible. Is it?
No, I had no one support me.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right. Yeah. Anyways, like the fact that she's willing to like take the kids for the day while I go film or whatever, and I'll take them the next day. Like that compromise, that ability to work together on that. There's no way this could happen. Like, because it's like, dude, it's a lot. It's a lot. You guys know how it is. So
Yeah.
Jay, your beard is getting mighty fancy, by the way. Before we close it up.
Yeah, let's
It
just
is.
close it up.
All right. Well, it's been a hell of a day. Paul's gonna hit the closing button, which will play the music, and then we can just have a little downtime.
But hit that like.
Yeah,
right
hit the
now.
like button.
Hit the like if you haven't done it yet.
buttons, and
Do it.
If you want to donate $20,000, now's the chance. All right, we're gonna call it a night, guys. Thanks for being here, and
Cheers all.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you
cheers.
for having us.
Cheers to everybody who
Cheers,
jumped in.
everybody.
Cheers for being here.
Yes.
Salute,
Cheers, you guys.
salute, salute.
Salute.
Hey.